it from the president? I know. Somebody left you $1 million.
Oh, hi, Paul. Paul, hey, you remember Jim Layton?
Jim Layton, that big mountain man, the one you had the big fight with? I'd as soon remember an earthquake.
Well, Paul, he's getting married.
Jim Layton's getting married?
Yep. He wants me to be his best man. On account I'm the only feller that ever whooped him fair and square.
Jim Layton. Oh, there's a man that walks around with trouble in a bundle and loves every minute of it.
Well, Paul, according to this letter, he's changed.
Him changed? Hoss, do yourself a favor. Keep away from him. He's trouble, big trouble, nothing but trouble.
Well, but even so, Paul, it's sort of an honor to be invited to be Jim Layton's best man. I mean, up there in the mountain country, his country. I reckon I ought to be thinking about a wedding present for him or something.
Well, it better be portable if you're going to travel all that way.
Hey, Paul. You know them little match ponies you got from old Gene Hendricks?
Oh, no, you don't. Not them match ponies. You keep away from them now. Why'd you get him something simple? Like a pair of matched bears. Or dueling pistols, or lace for the bride.
Oh, Paul, lace? Jim Layton ain't gonna marry no gal like that. Now, look, Paul, I'll offer you a fair price for him, and I know you didn't pay much for him. Paul, look, I owe it to him. That was the best dang fight I ever had in my life.
Yeah, you almost got yourself killed in that best dang fight you ever had. Now you want to be with him again. Oh, I just smell another fight. But you're set and going, aren't you? Well, tell you what. The match ponies are yours.
Thanks, Paul.
It's your bones, too.
You Paiutes? Comanche? I come in peace, whoever you are.
burn your ornery cantankerous hide. You ain't changed a bit, Jim.
Oh, yes, I have, you big hay-shaking farmer. In the old days, I'd used a real engine. Doggone, Hoss, it's good to see you, even if you are a plumb sorry-looking sight.
Wait till I start prodding you down that aisle. Then we'll see who's going to be the sorry-looking sight.
Now, hold on. Just 'cause you whoop me fair and square in your own backyard don't give you no license to forget who's king of this here mountain. And I'll tell you something else. If you don't get a pot of coffee on about nothing flat, I'm going to give you a chance to try your luck again.
You better save yourself for that wedding. You know something, Jim? You got a good life up here.
Yeah, but it gets awful lonesome.
Well, I never did mind being lonesome if I was by myself. It's being lonesome with somebody that scares me.
It scares me, too. You know, Hoss, I reckon that's the reason that I run all over the country getting into trouble like I did. And I come back home here and seen how Julie had growed up.
You sure do get moony-eyed when you talk about her. I reckon you mean it, don't you?
Hoss, she's cut right out of these here mountains. But soft, though. And I sure do mean it.
Well, sir, I'll tell you, Jim, you're going to have all the good luck that I can possibly wish down on you.
Hoss, that's the reason I ask you to be my best man. You know, with all that pallor, why, you ought to pack a little bit of weight upstairs.
Very funny. She probably don't deserve you, even if she has got poor judgment.
Shh.
What's the matter?
Somebody's a-coming. It's Julie, I think.
Well, you figuring on shooting her? You ain't even married yet.
Just stop your yapping. I think she's got her paw on.
Jim?
Yeah, Julie? You got your paw with you?
Yeah, but he ain't armed. He promised he wouldn't start anything. Will you talk to him?
Where's he at, Julie?
Behind the rock?
You sure he ain't armed?
I searched him myself.
All right, sweetheart. Bring him on in.
Come on, Pa, come on.
You're gonna get my head shot off.
Pa.
You lead me to the slaughter like a lamb.
Now, you gonna keep your word?
Look, if I made you a promise, I'm going to keep it. But it ain't going to make no difference, because that no-good skunk you think you're marrying, he don't know the difference between right and wrong.
Now, Pa, I don't think, I know there's gonna be a wedding.
If he lives that long. What's that?
Well, this is Hoss Cartwright. He's going to be best man at our wedding. Hoss, this is Julie. Grizzly Hoss.
Hello, Hoss. I sure heard a lot about you.
Well, thank you, Miss Julie. I've heard a lot about you, too. Mr. Martingale?
Any friend of Leighton's is a mortal enemy of mine.
Am I your enemy, Pa?
That's different, Julie. You're my daughter. Besides, you don't know what you're doing.
Jim, look, have I been invited here to be best man at a wedding or second for a fight?
Stick around. Just might be a pallbearer.
That's right. Just keep her talking.
Keep
Now,
your
you
big mouth shut or I'll take you fast.
Stop it, the both of you. No, Pa, you ain't never broke a promise to me before. Are you gonna make this the first? And you promised to negotiate with Pa. Did you mean it?
All right, let's get it over with.
Not just talk this time? You both really try?
I'll try.
Well, I promised, didn't I?
All right, then. Hoss, will you take me for a walk? These two got some palavering to do.
Go ahead, Hoss.
Yes, ma'am. I'd be happy to, ma'am.
If he tries anything, just holler, Julie.
Well, I just may not. Well, it's kind of simple, really. Those two are the only real loves of my life. And I can't get them to be friends.
What's it all about, anyhow, Miss Julie?
Oh, they and they're arguing over a piece of land they both lay claim to.
A big piece of land?
A very, very little piece, but a lot of stubborn pride. Sometimes pride's worth more than land out here.
Look, how did they come about laying claim to the same piece of land?
It was a stake in a card game. They both had the same hand. Pair of trays, ace, jack, four. And they've been arguing over it ever since. That was 14 years ago.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing for sure. This sure ain't no atmosphere for a wedding, is it?
Oh, sure is quiet in there. That's a bad sign. Means they're up to something.
Look, I'll go over and stick my head in and take a peek.
Oh, you be careful. They both be real touchy. I know 'em.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation, but I got some stuff in my saddlebags over here I needed to tend to.
I was a fool ever to come over here, palaver with a swindling cheat. You ain't gonna bamboozle me out of what's mine. Never again.
I don't want what's yours, you belly-aching old billy goat. All I want is what's mine. What you're claiming is yours and ain't. I won that fair and square in that poker game.
You did not. You lost. Boy, will you get out of here? You're getting on my nerves.
Now, he's my guest. Don't you go telling him what to do.
That's right. Keep your bodyguard close at hand. You're gonna need him, you fork-tongued old lizard.
Now, watch out what you're saying, old man. Julie's paw or not, there's a limit to what I'm going to take off of you.
Well, hurry up and get to it, 'cause I'm sick of your empty blather.
You talk like you're sick of breathing, do you?
Now listen to me. Why, you two sound like a bunch of overgrown children. And I sure ain't gonna spend the rest of my life listening to you growling at each other. Or maybe one of you losing hold and killing the other. And I sure ain't gonna choose between you neither. So don't make it come to that. Now you better settle this thing somehow.
Oh, Julie, you know I'm trying to settle it.
Yeah, me too, honey. It's just this lying cheat you're marrying.
See what he said?
You both make me sick.
You two are blaming everybody but yourself. And that poor little girl, she's soaking up the misery from both of you.
Ah, simmer down. It ain't as clear-cut as all that.
Well, it is to me. You wouldn't recognize the solution if it came up and punched you in the gut.
I would, too.
You would, huh? How about you?
I ain't heard nothing out of you but a lot of meddling talk. And no solution to nothing.
Why,
Jim, wait a minute, Jim. Jim, look. Why don't you give the land to the old man? He's got his self-respect buried there in it, Jim, and I'll guarantee if you do, he'll hand Julie over to you wrapped up in a white ribbon.
Now, what about my self-respect? Shoot, I wouldn't be no good to Julie or myself, either one, without it. I told you one time before, Hoss, what my life has been like. Well, it's just my pride that's all's kept me alive. Julie knows that as well as anybody else does.
Since when's it going to hurt your pride, Jim, to give a little?
Well, if I go giving in to old Grizzly now, why, I'll lose everything. Hoss, I've carved a life for myself out of these mountains. I've been called a dirty, no-good renegade half-breed. I've been locked up, shot up, spit on, but I won. Shoot, I'm king of these here mountains, and I ain't gonna give that up to nobody. Hoss, you tried to understand me one time before, and you saved my life. I'm asking you, just string along with me again, will you?
Jim, how far is it here to that little piece of property? I'd kind of like to take a look at it.
What's the matter? You want to buy it?
Oh, I might. If you two ever decide who rightfully owns it. Come on. Let's go take a look at it.
All right.
Jim, you mean to tell me that rock pile out there is what you fellas been fighting over all this time?
Well, I'll admit it's a little bit dry, but they tell me it used to be a real pretty spot before the creek changed course.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's so bad at that.
What are you driving at?
No, just might have me a little idea. Here. Been thinking. There's an easy solution to the problem of who owns that property.
Ain't no problem. I own it.
You arbitrate.
What? What'd you call me?
No, Grizzly, I ain't calling you nothing. That ain't what arbitrate means. Arbitrate means that the two of you will go out and get a third party. Somebody that ain't got no stake in neither one of you, and somebody that both of you agree on. Now, this third party then does some thinking on the matter, and he decides who rightfully owns the property. And then both of you agree to abide by his decision.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute.
No, Pa, he's right. You know he's right. Why, it's the only way.
Sounds fair and square to me.
Somewhere in this, there's a trick. I can feel it.
I can feel it too, Pa. I can feel my last chance coming up.
Well, supposing I lose this here, whatever that dang word is, does that mean I wasn't cheated? Does that mean I gotta bless the marriage of my only daughter to the man what cheated me?
Do it for my sake. Let me marry in peace.
Look, the way I see it, it's the only way you two are going to get by each other without busting heads.
What's wrong with knocking heads?
It ain't a proper way to bless a marriage, Pa. I want my marriage blessed proper.
But, honey, I just don't like this fancy way of settling things.
But you do it? For me? Please.
Who do you want to try first?
Well, how about the mayor?
Oh, no, not the mayor. I didn't vote for him. I told him so, too.
What about a judge? Is there a judge in town?
Comes by twice a year, but he wouldn't do no how. Dad blame idiot went and fined me $2 for busting up a saloon one time.
But, Jim, he suspended the sentence.
It don't matter. It's a principle of the thing. What I done to that saloon was worth $10 any day.
Well, let's try the store clerk. Either you owe me any money?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're on equal footing.
Old lady.
Yeah, snores real loud. Sign of character.
I never seen an honest shopkeeper in my life.
Me neither. Hey, wake up. Wake up!
Grizzly. Jim. Something wrong?
Why, Pa and Jim are finally going to settle their land dispute. We need an arbitrator.
Please, folks. I got a wife, I got 3 kids, and I'm allergic to crossfire. Anybody knows I'm not too bright, and I don't know a darn thing about land. You fellas don't have to worry about the money you owe me, okay? Please, don't make me do this.
What if... No, forget it. It wouldn't work. What about the undertaker?
Nope. Never paid him for planting Uncle Jake. Uncle Jake weren't worth planting.
What about a doctor? They ought to be a doctor in town. They're supposed to be brave and honest.
No. I never paid him for birthing Julie.
Oh, we've been through this whole blame town. They're either too scared or one of you rejected him.
Somewhere in this town there's an arbitrator, and I'm going to find him if I have to turn over every stinking rock.
I'm going home.
Well, I'm going to the saloon. All this thinking has parched me.
Yeah, why don't you?
I reckon she's fed clean up by now.
I don't blame her none, neither. Get that burned lunkhead, why don't you go on after her? That's what she wants you to do, and say something nice to her, too. Dang it, Jim, you don't know nothing about women, do you?
All right, Romeo. All right. I'm sorry, Julie. I'm sorry that it couldn't have been simple and easy.
Sorry? Why should Jim Layton be sorry about anything? Why, he's king of the mountain. Kings don't have to be sorry about nothing.
Right now, I don't hardly feel like king of a molehill. Julie, I can't help it what I am. When I asked you to marry me, it was me you said yes to, not something or somebody else.
Life sure would have been easier had I turned you down.
I reckon it ain't too late to change your mind.
Jim, it was too late the day I met you.
Give me a beer, please, sir.
You dogging my footsteps, farmer boy?
Nope. Just trying to be sociable. And that ain't too easy with you.
I don't mean it to be.
Grizzly, why don't you swallow a little bit of that pride of yours and give Julie a chance? Now, you got to start someplace, so why don't you decide on an arbitrator by tomorrow?
Look, farmer boy, don't push me. Just back off. I got ornery blood.
Ain't nobody pushing.
Oh, yes, there is. You are. All of you. You just won't let a man grow old in peace. Got to take away everything he's got. Well, you ain't doing that to me, boy. I can still look out for myself. Now, just leave me alone. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of all of you. Now, just leave me alone.
Dad burn. If you ain't got a knack for putting together more words and saying less with them than any man I ever met in my life. Hey, Parson! Hey, Parson! Thank you. Stop it. I ain't gonna hurt you.
You ain't? Or aren't?
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, I haven't been doing very well in these parts. You see, I'm needed so badly that I'm not at all wanted. I seem to get run out of town before I even get in.
Yeah, it is sort of tough country, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm just not cut out for it. Yes, it was all a mistake anyway. I applied for duty at the Borneo mission, but they sent me here instead.
Yes, sir. I got a mighty big favor to ask of you.
A favor?
A big one.
You a Republican?
We're not allowed to discuss our political affiliation while under the cloak. I'm sorry.
Did you ever catch a trout on a feather?
I prefer silver spoons myself.
What's the difference between a steelhead and a rainbow?
If I remember correctly, the steelhead is the marine form of the rainbow trout, more correctly known as Salmo gardneri. Oh, the steelhead would be Salmo gardneri gardneri.
What's worth more, a skunk or a white weasel pelt?
The weasel.
Now, don't you go giving me that look like I'm all used to do.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. Yes, I've reached my decision.
Well, out with it.
Oh, yes, the decision. By the moral power vested in me by the Mission Society and approved by the Greater Seminary Council and weighted by the good book, I have examined the facts and looked into my heart and soul for a decision.
We're out with it!
Please.
I know very little about poker, but even to the innocent, it's obvious that the hands of the disputants were identical. Now, the logical way to settle that dilemma would have been for one to sell or trade one half of the land to the other. Therefore, my decision as arbitrator is that the land be sold to a third party and the money divided between the disputants. Now, if you will excuse me.
Thank you very much, Parson. Thank you. Well, gentlemen, that decision seems most fair to me. Now, me being the third party, I'm offering you $200 for that property. That's $100 apiece. Anybody want to cop it? All righty. Looks like it's a deal. And Grizzly, there's your 100. And Jim, there's your 100. Now, since I'm the sole owner of that property out there, it looks like we can stop all this feuding, don't it?
Suits me. You want a shake, Grizzly?
Sure, it suits you. You won this round with double talk and fancy doings. Had it figured all the time. Make a fool out of me in front of the whole dang town.
Now, Pa, you promised to abide by the decision. You gonna break your word?
Well, honey, there's some promises come first before others. You come in here with your pocket full of wise sayings, all ready to solve everybody's problems. Sitting up there on your fine horse, all big and fat, huh? Getting yourself some old runt of a parson who don't know the difference between a poker hand and a scalping knife to stand in front of the whole town and say, I don't own what I own. And my own daughter. Listening to him, siding with him. Your mother had a few things to say to you about that. Out of my way!
Don't you talk to me about Ma. She'd have loved seeing you break your word this way.
My honor's put out there on that land. It's being stomped on.
Pa, I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
Well, then, I guess maybe there's ain't no more use talking.
You'll cool off, Julie. Look, honey, we got our own lives to live. Ain't nothing we can do about it if a stubborn old man wants to walk on everybody that crosses his path.
Just ain't fair. Being caught between the two men I love this way.
Jim, let her go.
I'll kill him, so help me,
That's all Julie needs for you to kill him.
Hoss, he's looking for a fight. You know that as well as I do.
All right. Is that what you want, a fight? Or a marriage? Look, Jim, that old man has put his pride in front of his own daughter's happiness. Now, is that what you want?
It's 6-5 and 3-1. 3-1 and 6-5. 6-5, there ain't no wedding. 3-1, Hayden wins the fight. Oh, come on and get in here. What's the matter with you, Bob? Don't you feel lucky? All right, get back down here and get some action here. It's red hot. How much do you want? Give me. What do you want? Give me.
It fits, Pa. Well, I'm just the same size as Mom.
That's right, on the same size. On the outside.
On the inside, too, Pa. And I love you just as much as she did.
But she never went contrary to my thinking, my feelings, like you.
She was your wife, Pa. And I want to be a wife, too. And be beholden to my husband's thinking and feelings.
Not much to that Jim Layton.
But, Pa, I love him. And if you love me, you bless my wedding.
Not when it's to that sneaking thief.
Burn it, hold still. This is going to be hard enough like it is.
What is this, a dressing or a lynching?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but better you than me.
Some friends you turn out to be.
Dang it. Now, hold still.
I am.
Quit shaking, then.
I ain't a-shaking.
You ain't? Hold out your hands.
Hoss, I ain't been so scared since that bear run me up a tree when I was 5 years old.
What are you scared of?
Did you ever get a good look at me? What do you suppose a pretty little thing like that Julie's doing marrying an ugly galoot like me?
Dang fine old Jim, but if I was you, I'd hurry up and get to that church before she changed her mind and backs out.
Congratulations, Jim. Bygones is bygones.
Thanks a lot, Harry. They sure is.
You're hooked, Jim. No use tormenting you no more. Might as well shake.
It's been a long time, Wesley. Say, I want you to meet my good friend and best man, Hoss Cartwright.
Howdy. How are you, Wes?
Hiya, Hoss.
Hi, how are you, sir? Howdy. How are you, sir?
Look at her, Hoss.
Yeah.
Boy, ain't she something.
Julie, how beautiful. Congratulations.
Mr. Layton?
Give me the ring.
What I do, the ring. Burn it.
Here. Here. Now, hang on to it.
Right.
We are gathered here to wed in holy matrimony Jim Layton and Julie Martingale. Here in this conclave of God, we must face our nature and our destiny. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare this ceremony commenced, with this stipulation, that if there be any man present who has reason that this marriage should not take place, let him speak now or forever hold his peace.
I'll be speaking now.
You ought to be ashamed. This is a church.
Jim, you can't fight him. If you do, you'll lose everything.
All right, Parson, this is a saloon again now.
Just stay out of my way, horse.
Jim, I can't let you do this. That Bernadette just ain't right.
Let him go, Hoss. Let them kill each other. Maybe they're right. Maybe it's the way it has to be. Pa, you feeling so old and sorry for yourself has turned you into a foolish old man who's given his daughter a wedding day she'll never forget. I just want to ask you one thing, and it's the last thing I'll ever ask. Why? Tell me why.
Julie, honey, that piece of land used to be real pretty with a stream running through it and poppies growing there. Your Ma, she was just 16. She used to go there and pick flowers. I met her there. I promised her that I'd always keep that place.
And you bet it on a poker game. And it's the shame of that day that's done this to us.
Nah, he cheated me.
Pa, nobody cheated you. You could have stopped that a long time ago. It's too late now.
I said something about that land.
You keep your hatchet face out of my affairs, yeah? Ain't no concern of yours. Now, come on, let's get on with the fighting.
Whoop! Wait a minute, boys. Fight about what? You fellas seem to be forgetting it. I own that property now. You ain't got nothing to fight about, have you?
Well, all right, here's your money back. Now it belongs to me again.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That money's just for half of it, even if I did decide to keep it. You see, I still own the other half.
Jim, are you still king of this here mountain, or has your friend here taken it away from you?
I'm sorry, Hoss. Now we own her together again, huh?
All right, now let's fight and settle this thing once and for all.
Wait a minute. Hold it. You're overlooking another very important fact. And that is that, well, that land just ain't for sale. I bought that property fair and square. And most of the people in this room were witness to it. If you two want that property, you're going to have to fight me for it. Either one of you or both of you. Don't make no difference.
Well, all right. One side, Jim. I'll take him.
No, I'll whoop him. He's my friend.
Now, just a doggone minute.
Now, hold on, Grizzly. If you and me go fighting one another, why, we ain't going to have enough whooping power left to handle him. Tell you what we'll do. We'll flip for him.
All right. I'll take heads.
Thanks, Hoss. Tails.
Oh, shucks.
Gonna be different this time.
Well.
Jimmy. Come on, I got 3-1 on you. Get up.
Jimmy Solitude's winning me.
Well, if there's one thing in this world you got plenty of, it's wind.
Come on. Love Julie. You'll never know. You're gonna have to give up that land or you'll never get her.
My ancestors have turned over in their grave. He's looking at you. Well, Grizzly, any doubt in your mind who's king of the mountain now?
Give up?
Never.
Jimmy boy. We sure whopped them, didn't we?
What do you mean, we?
Well, on account of you did most of the fighting. You can still be king of the mountain if you want. We don't let no outsider come in here telling us what to do, huh?
What about the land?
Well, remembering's the important part. Let him keep it. He bought it fair and square, didn't he?
Hey, maybe we better get that big gunsel outside where he can get some air, huh?
Yeah.
I better go get Julie, huh?
Oh, no, Jim. Let me. It's more fitting.
Somebody better go get a bucket of water.
Julie!
one to find.
Come on, honey. Let's get inside, get on with the wedding.
Go on in, sweetheart. I golly, before your pa changes his mind again. You all right?
Yeah. You going inside, I'll join your man. Jim, I'm still your best man, ain't I?
You sure are, partner.
You know something? I think I won after all. Well, older brother, are you about ready to accompany our Pa on his annual cultural trip up to the Paiute Nation?
Well, I guess so, since I had no choice. Since I'm elected, I'm ready.
Well, see if you can keep him from bringing home all that junk this time.
Just a minute. That isn't junk. That's genuine and very fine Indian artwork. About time you boys learned something about Indian art and customs and language.
Some of the finest hides I ever seen in my life.
Hey, you want to know something? This is a fact, too. This is true. Those Paiute women hand-chew those hides. That's why they're so soft. Bet they got the strongest teeth in the territory.
Sometimes I sense a certain lack of sensitivity in my sons. All right, let's get those steers out. We're a little late now.
Go.
Muska, Tahane Paiute.
Greetings, old friend.
Well, your English is improving. Better. Well, we brought you the best beef we could pick out.
Good. You, good man. Good, sir.
We've had good trading. And now I have a gift which I would offer you in honor of our long friendship. It's a watch for telling time.
I am honored with friend's gift. Will treasure long time. I have gift for friend. Young maiden, she yours.
I cannot accept gift of Indian maiden?
Not Indian. White girl. Taken many, many years ago.
Good girl. Work hard. Teach me English. My son casts eyes on her. Not good. My son marry Paiute. This one must go. White name, Joan. Hello. Then me mat kuba. Let's pay.
You say you'd kill her?
If she ever came back to the tribe, he would.
Doesn't leave you much choice, does it?
I guess we better...
Starving.
No eat on time 3 days now. Hop Sing ready go back China.
It's only been 3 days. It seems a lot longer to me.
Why? You just saw her just that once when we brought her home. She's been up in her room ever since.
Well, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about what it's been like to live with Pa. I've never seen him so upset.
Pa's got quite a problem.
He's got a problem. He's got a tiger by the tail is what he's got.
There's a great sense of responsibility. I mean, the chief doesn't give gifts lightly.
Gift? That's some gift. I'll bet you this ends Pa's annual cultural trek to the Paiute Nation.
No, I don't know. I think Pa will probably return a favor next year and bring the chief something nice like a lighted stick of dynamite.
Yeah, or a loco steer.
Maybe he'll make a gift to you, Hoss.
Very funny.
I'm glad somebody's happy about something.
No luck, huh?
No, she won't eat.
She give you any reason?
She won't talk either.
Look, Paul, maybe you ought to just give up and...
And what? I'd be very happy to give up. Somebody else will take the responsibility. Doctor won't even come out here. He says eventually her hunger will overcome her stubbornness. The sheriff was no help either.
Well, I thought Roy was kind of droll.
Droll? He's downright sarcastic is what he was.
Why, Adam, what did Roy say?
Well, he suggested that Pa get himself another watch. Like a grandfather's clock and maybe renegotiate with the chief.
Very funny.
No, well, he's got a point there. You might just try to explain to him that things aren't working out very well.
Adam, you know perfectly well you can't return a gift to a Paiute chief. Besides, he meant what he said. They'd kill her.
No eat now, food not fit to eat.
All right, Hop Sing, we'll eat now.
Indian girl no like Hop Sing food?
I said we'll eat now.
She loco.
Hop Sing, we're going to eat right now. Will you stop yelling in my ear?
Hey, Paul, I got an idea. Listen, all this good food, she gets a smell of this, she'll eat, I guarantee you. I'll just make a plate of it. I'll take it up there to her, and I'll hold it out in the hall and just let her get a waft of it through the door. I guarantee you she'll eat.
That's not a very good idea, Hoss.
It'll work, Paul.
I tell you, it's not a very...
Well, so she eats, then what?
Well, she should be given a chance to learn to live with her own kind of people. She's been living as an Indian since she was a child. It won't be easy for her.
What do you want us to do to help?
I suppose we should be understanding and patient. Help her make an adjustment.
She ain't hungry. He was right, Paul.
Does it?
What are you gonna do, Pa?
You give that lady a very necessary talking to.
What's he mean by that, Ed?
Well, you must remember that expression from when you were a kid.
You don't mean he's gonna...
I'm afraid so.
Now, we've tried every reasonable way we know. But you still persist in this stubborn refusal to do anything we ask you to do. Well, I'm giving you 3 seconds to get downstairs to
Spit on your mother's shadow!
Huh? I know that the Paiutes taught you many unpleasant expressions. So I'm not going to hold that against you, young lady.
Spit on your grandmother's shadow!
Boy, she's a feisty one.
She throws a pretty mean plate, too.
You know, frankly, I sort of wish Bo hadn't gone back up there. It's a long ride this time of night to fetch a doctor.
Oh, I think I put my money on Pa this time.
Oh, yeah? How much? Well, Pa?
She'll be down in a minute. Hop Singh, I got a fresh plate here.
Plate in bed.
Sit down, please.
And
speak English.
All right. I
Now,
spit
just
on
sit down here. Just eat. Move up there. Unless you want to have another conversation the same we had upstairs. Put a little gravy on there. Now, I'd like you to eat that, please. If you will. Joseph. Joseph.
Joni, how do you make it so shiny?
I spit on your
Joan.
bear fat.
Yeah, I thought I recognized that odor. Paul, if you don't mind, there's a sick horse out there in the barn. I think I'll go out and take care of him.
I think I better go help you, Pa.
Excuse me. Sure.
Good. Missy, eat now. It's good, yes? It's good. No?
I'm saying I'll call you if I need you. Yeah, feels a little more like it. Hang on. See, I got 2 of everything so that you could alternate them and keep them clean that way. It's pretty, isn't it?
What is this?
Oh, that's it's a camisole. It's an underthing. It's an underthing, and these are all underthings.
What is underthing?
Well, an underthing is you wear it under your dress.
All this underdress is too much. I not can move. Under this, I not wear.
Joni. Look, Joni, if you're going to live like a white woman, you got to dress like a white woman. Now, be a good girl, and you go on upstairs and put these things on. And put these on, too. They're shoes, boots.
Indian man much kinder to woman than white man.
Adam, where you been?
I was over at Clem White's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that traded some grain for some hogs.
No. We took care of that 3 weeks ago. I was over to see about selling him some stock.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I've been leaving everything up to you boys lately. I'm sorry to put the extra work on you, but...
We don't mind the extra work. It just...
Well, I've been really making some good progress with the girl. She's up in her room now, putting on some decent clothes that I bought her.
And then what? Just what is it that you want to do with her?
But we got to prepare her for the world. Got to help her adjust.
Expect me to get stinking thing on feet. We was stay. We can't speak. What's going to say you can?
I guess I got him a couple of sizes too small.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. She'll adjust.
Have you boys noticed Joan's new clothes?
Sure have, Father. Real nice.
Some clothes, all right, Paul.
Real fashion plate, yes, sir.
Dress stink. Boots stink. Things under stink. You stink. Are you?
John!
Come with me. Shut the door, please. Joan? Look at me, Joan. Look at me. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I've been forcing things on you. Trying to make you want things which you didn't want or even care about. So, you're free to go now.
Free?
Yeah.
You mean I do what I want?
Yes, of course. I'm not your jailer.
Good. I go now.
Where will you go?
Back to my people.
You hate the white world so much that you go back to the Paiutes knowing that they'd kill you.
There is other tribes.
These other tribes, they'd accept a Paiute cast off, a white girl?
Knowing English, my mother teach me, not make me white. She died when I 10. Only world I know is Indian world.
Well, we must find our own world to live in. I just hope that our world might please you. So now you can pick your own.
Paul, what's the matter? Joan just came busting through the living room like she's on her way to a fire or something.
Yeah, I know. She's going away. Adam, would you saddle her horse for her?
Hey, well, it's dark, Pa. Should she at least wait until morning?
And when you're young and you're running away from something that you're afraid of or you don't understand, I guess it doesn't make any difference whether it's day or night.
Try your way.
Are you sure? You sure you want to?
Yes. I think about what you say. I try your world and see.
Come in.
Welcome home.
In this shoe, like balancing on stones crossing creek.
Well, it takes a little patience. Besides, you haven't buttoned them properly. Now, look, I'm going to show you this once more.
I never learned to walk in this, or dress right, or eat with fork.
Joni, you can do anything you set your mind to do in this world if you just take a little time and patience.
But I start so late to learn what others learn as child.
You're not much more than a child yourself.
I'm not child. Wyote, son of chief, would marry me.
It doesn't make you a woman. Joan, In our world, in your world now, people marry for different reasons than they do in the pirate world. Here we usually marry for love.
I tell you before, that is word I learn in English, but it is only word.
Well, when it happens to you, it'll be more than only word. You'll meet someone someday, and he'll be different from other men. And when he talks, his voice will have a special meaning just for you alone. And when he touches you, it'll be as if you've been waiting for that touch all your life. When it happens, you'll know. It's like something magic. Now, up you get.
Boy, I need magic to walk in this stinking. In this shoe.
Not right. Practice. Let go, bud.
Now, you reckon what could be so all-fired funny in there?
Well, whatever it is, it's all right with me as long as it keeps him laughing.
Yeah.
Oh. So the hook's all crooked. Another mistake. I wish I was like you. You never make mistakes.
Oh, don't I? Got that dress about 10 sizes too big for you, didn't I? However, according to Lady Stanhope, men are forgiven mistakes in the social world. Ladies must know. Why don't you leave that alone for a while? There's an article here about Senator Douglas I'd like you to read. He's a man I admire very much.
According to Senator Douglas, if war comes between the states, the silver of our
Territory.
Territory will be of vital importance.
What are you laughing about? Don't you say anything funny.
I was remembering that book of etiquette I've been reading these last few weeks.
Oh, and what did you find amusing about it?
Well, it was just that drawing of all those knives and forks, you know, that they use. And here I struggle with one.
I wouldn't worry about that. Pa's been lecturing me about them for years, and I still get confused past one of each.
Men are forgiven mistakes in the social world, but ladies must know.
Now, I wonder who made that proclamation.
I think it was Lady Stanhope of England who wrote the Book of Etiquette.
I see. Well, I don't think we have to worry about entertaining Lady Stanhope at the Ponderosa.
Adam, excuse me. Joan, did you find anything interesting in the newspaper lately?
Yes, I did. I was reading a most interesting article about the Silver Lobby in Washington. According to Senator Douglas, if war comes between the states, the silver of our territory could well be of vital importance politically. According to Senator Douglas, the economic situation, both for the North and the South, would be unlimited. And so from the time of the Egyptians,
Silver has influenced the destinies of men and nations, according to Senator Douglas.
That's very interesting. According to Senator Douglas.
Joan, I found the conversation most informative. Thank you.
Well, I will leave you, gentlemen, to your coffee and brandy. I have some sewing waiting for me in my room.
Well, what do you think? That was quite a performance, wasn't it?
I must admit she's a lot different than she was 2 months ago when we first saw her.
Yeah, she's become an interesting composite.
What do you mean?
A composite of Lady Stanhope, Senator Douglas, and Ben Cartwright. All right, you accomplished what you set out to do. Well, now what are you going to do with it? You got a plan?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I do have a plan. She'll have what every woman deserves. A chance for her rightful place in society. As a wife.
You already got somebody picked for her?
Well, of course not. She'll never make her own choice. There are plenty of red-blooded men in the territory. Just wait till they get a look at her.
What are you figuring on doing, advertising her?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, I am. In a way. We're going to give a party this Saturday night and invite every eligible bachelor in the territory. She'll be fighting them off by the dozen, you'll see.
According to Senator Douglas, if war comes between the states, the silver of our territory could well be of vital importance politically. According to Senator Douglas, the economic possibilities both for the North and the South are enormous. Let us take, for example, 10 basic economic advantages for the North. First,
Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, well, don't let me interrupt. Please go on.
Oh, no, sir. Not interrupting at all, sir. No, sir. I believe we could use some of that punch.
Well, what were you talking about?
Senator Douglas's monetary theories.
Well, Jonah, you know, a subject like that doesn't have too much appeal for young fellas. Why don't you talk about other things?
What other things?
Well, I'll tell you things like, Oh, Tom Bello, come on over here. First time I've seen you tonight. Now, you know Joan, of course.
Oh, yes, sir. We had a long talk about Senator Douglas.
Well, that's not a very exciting subject for a young girl. Now, Tom, I know you can do better than that. I'll tell you what. Why don't you and Joan go outside, get a breath of fresh air? Show her the moon. Now, there's a subject that young girls never get tired of. See, go ahead now, along with you, both of you. Little music. Tom Bellows just took Joan out for a walk in the moonlight.
Think Lady Stanhope would approve?
Well, never mind Lady Stanhope. I think I understand young people better than she does. Which reminds me, I haven't seen you fellas dancing with any of the girls tonight.
What girls? No, you were so busy inviting eligible bachelors, you forgot to invite any eligible girls.
I guess I did.
Skaya! And say you can! And I spit on your grandmother's shadow!
Joan, what happened?
The Paiutes, they told me about this moon madness. I did not like it.
Well, I'll tell that young fella a thing or two.
No, it's not important.
Of course it's important. I'm not going to let him spoil your party.
Yes, and he told me the reason for this party. If I had known, I could have saved you the trouble. I have no need for these young men. There's no magic with them. No magic. I'm going to bed.
sorry the party wasn't the success you expected?
Well, I'm very surprised at Tom's behavior. Really very surprised.
Maybe Tom didn't understand the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Well, maybe like she said, Paul, she just ain't interested in them young fellas.
She's a young girl.
Maybe she likes more mature men like you.
What's all this nonsense about?
Well, maybe it ain't so much nonsense, Paul. Maybe...
Maybe what?
Maybe she loves you.
That girl doesn't even know the meaning of the word.
Oh, indeed I do.
Paul, there's some stock that's got to be taken care of out in the barn.
Yeah, I'm going to help him, Pa.
I'm more practical. I'm going to bed.
It took me a long time to realize what had happened to me. Just as it will take you time. No. Take time. You'll realize how right it is. You're the finest, most wonderful man in the world. And I love you very much. Good night, Benjamin. Darling. Good morning, Benjamin. Breakfast will be ready in a moment.
Oh. Well, I'll wash up.
That would be all for now, Hobson. Thank you. Benjamin, you've taken time and thought about it?
Oh, yes. Yes, Joan, I have.
Then you understand.
Joan, I want to ask you a question. Where did you get this idea?
Last night at the party, when I looked at all those young men, then I looked at you, and then I knew, because the magic was there.
What magic?
Well, the magic you told me was love. It happened just as you said it would.
Yeah, but... Oh, Joan, when I told you that, I wasn't talking about me. No, this feeling that you have...
This love I have...
This feeling that you have, it isn't love, Joan. It's what students feel for their teachers sometimes. It's not what you think.
I know how I feel. It's how you feel that's important.
Well, I know how... This conversation is ridiculous.
Not according to Senator Douglas.
What has Senator Douglas got to do with it?
Senator Douglas said that all things can be settled logically if intelligently applied.
It has nothing to do with logic.
It has to.
Joan.
Look at me. I'm the proof.
Joan,
I said,
please.
look at me. Would you look at me?
I'm looking at you. All right, now, what has this got to do with Senator Douglas's immortal cliches about logic?
Am I not what you made me? Did you not say the night of the party that I would make a perfect mate for any man?
Well, yes. No. I would... Yes, as an artist would speak of a creation.
There, you admitted it.
Admitted what?
You said that you created me. Now, would you create something that you hated, something that you didn't care about?
Joan,
well, would you? No, you wouldn't. You'd create something that you loved. Me.
Joni, love has nothing to do with logic.
It has everything to do...
Joan, let me give you a very pertinent logical fact. I'm old enough to be a father.
Oh, pooh. If a Paiute's wife dies, he looks for the youngest next wife he can find. One who can work hard and give him many sons.
Joan, I have enough sons.
Well, I'll give you more. Bigger than Hoss, smarter than Adam, and handsomer than little Joe.
Joan, now listen to me. I am not the man for you.
I'll show you that you are. You hold me. There's an old Paiute custom.
Joan, we are not Paiutes.
Well, we can borrow the custom for just a little while.
Joan, please. Joan, will you stop this?
Oh, sorry, Pa.
Come in, boys. Benjamin has some news to tell you.
I got some chores to do.
Benjamin?
Doing some errands?
Yeah, Joan asked me to take her into town to get some things. We looked for you, but you were gone.
Yeah, well, I had some things to do around the barn.
Yeah.
You got something on your mind?
Same thing's on your mind. Joan. She thinks she's going to marry you.
What? That's nonsense. I told her so.
Well, she thinks she's going to marry you. Sure isn't nonsense to her.
Well, of course it's nonsense. She's not going to marry me. She's not in love with me. It may take her time, but she'll realize that.
Well, I don't know if you got that much time. You know, one of the things she wanted to look at in town? Wedding dresses.
Wedding dresses?
Now, you always taught us that the hurt you feel when you tell the truth is a little shorter and less painful than the hurt you feel when you don't face the truth.
The hurt will go away. I promise you. In time, you'll have to look close to even see the scar. I have a close and very dear friend in San Francisco. Her only daughter died about 5 years ago, and I know that she would welcome you as a companion, even as a daughter.
You don't believe I love you?
I believe that you're misinterpreting the word.
No. You told me. You said one man will seem different. His voice special, his touch magic. That is how I feel.
Joan, the way you feel now, you'll feel so differently 5 or 10 years from now when you're a mature woman.
I don't care about 5 or 10 years from now. I care about now. I care about how I feel now. But you don't love me, do you?
I love you. But not as you think you want me to love you. I love you as I love Adam, Horse, and little Joe.
That isn't what I mean. You just don't understand.
Maybe I do. The tears for lost youth are just as bitter. And the cry, where were you when I was young? Just as painful.
You don't love me. You don't love me.
Joe. I'm consumed with jealousy and envy for the young man who will one day marry you. I wired my friend in San Francisco, and I talked to Chief Kioi again. His son has married, and he says that you are welcome. Go back to the tribe if you wish. So you see, you have 2 worlds from which to choose.
2 worlds? I have no world. You destroyed the world of the Indian for me. And now you've destroyed your world for me, too.
I'll get the ticket for San Francisco.
I'm sorry you're unhappy. Sorry my father's unhappy. He didn't mean to hurt you.
He doesn't care anything about me.
I think he cares a great deal.
No, he cares nothing. My life is empty.
Your life is just beginning. And I think your heart is a little too young to break. The bruise will heal. But my father, when he thinks of you in the future, will feel sad and guilty. Because he'll remember you now in your unhappiness and blame himself.
Well, he should.
Why, just because he tried to help you? He's given you a future, no matter what you may think now. And if you love him, give him something too. Take the guilt away from him. Let him remember you now without unhappiness.
You teach as well as your father. Thank you, Adam.
Guess we better be getting aboard.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Are you going to San Francisco?
Yes, I am.
Oh. Well, then we'll be fellow passengers. My name is Joan Wingate.
I'm John Turner.
Oh. Well, I have the fare all arranged.
Well, good. I guess we can get on board.
Here, let me help you.
Oh, this is John Turner. He's going to San Francisco, too.
How do you do?
Turner?
Well, goodbye. And thank you, Benjamin.
It's gonna be all right, Adam. Yes, sir, she's gonna be all right.
Well, it should be all right, Pa. Why not? She's got everything you taught her. A few of her own. Like courage.
Like magic.
Gentlemen, you know what day this is?
Huh?
This is the first day of spring.
Hey, Pa, I got a vacation coming. I think I'm gonna head for the hills.
You stay right here. Suffer with the rest of us. You sure?
Right here, black and white.
Whole year gone by already. Can't believe it.
Yeah, me neither. My leg still aches from when he broke it last year.
And these exaggerated attacks of spring fever of his, ever since he was a boy, you'd think he'd grow out of them.
There's been an earthquake or he has just fallen out of bed.
Well, get the sulfur and molasses.
I should have known this was coming on. You know, the last couple of days I've been watching him. He gets that look on his face, you know, that faraway look like he hears wild geese flying, you know.
That's the most dangerous time of all. That's when he can tromp on you without even knowing it.
Yeah.
Well, let's get it over with. Horse.
Oh, hi, Paul. What's the matter?
You know what time of year it is?
Huh?
You know what time of year it is?
Yeah, it must be at least 7 or 8 o'clock.
Horse, it's the first day of spring.
Oh, no, Paul. No, Paul. Not that. Paul, I promise you I'll be more careful. I'll be real careful, Paul. Don't give me that medicine. It ain't never done no good before anyhow.
Well, we just can't take a chance that it won't do any good. Horse.
Hey, man.
That burns spring.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Joe. You sort of flushed me there all of a sudden like.
Yeah.
How come you didn't wake me up? You done all the work?
Boss, believe me, I feel a lot safer with you asleep.
Well, Joe, it's that dad-burn tonic Paul gives me. Just keeps me tuckered out all the time.
Yeah, well, listen, I just want you to keep taking that tonic, all right? You keep taking that tonic till you get rid of the fever. And now listen. Listen. I gotta go over to the sheriff's office now and deliver a message from Pa, all right? Now, you come on over here. I want you to sit down over here so you'll be out of the way and out of trouble, all right? Let me just help you right over there. You'll be all right. Come on, right over here, big brother. Just sit down there. There you go. Now, listen. Listen to me for a minute.
Huh?
I want you to sit here, take it easy, relax, stay out of trouble. Sit and watch your women go by.
Yeah.
Okay?
Anything you say, Joe.
Right. Hey, here comes one now. Ooh. Hey, she really was nice, what? Pause. I hope I never have to take that tonic. Howdy, Roy.
Howdy, little Joe. What brings you into town?
Just getting supplies. Pa wanted me to tell you he was sorry he couldn't make that poker game last night. We were kind of busy.
Well, I imagine with the fire and all, did it do much damage to the house?
Nah, we managed to get it put out pretty quick.
How in tarnation did Hoss manage to set that house afire in the middle of the night?
Well, I'll tell you, Roy, near as we can figure. He was downstairs frying some catfish and greens, and the skillet turned over.
Frying catfish and greens in the middle of the night?
Well, you know, he gets pretty funny appetites when he's got that fever.
He's got the fever?
Yeah.
Oh, spring, huh? You didn't bring him into town, did you?
Yeah, but don't worry about it, Roy. I got that tonic in him. He's half asleep in front of the store.
Joe, I don't think it was very fair to bring him into town. Now, I know that Hoss can look and act as natural as anybody else, but all of a sudden, boom, and he's in trouble. You remember what happened last year? Over back at the saloon there when he got tangled up with all them barrels and stuff? Man, what a mess.
Yeah, well, what are we going to do, Roy? Really, what are you going to do? You can't lock a man up until he's over the fever. You just can't do that.
Well, I don't know. It's in the public interest, public safety.
You know, maybe we got a point.
What do you mean?
About locking him up. Hey, your deputy, Clem. Clem, he's on vacation now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on vacation, but what? You ain't thinking what I'm thinking you're thinking, are you?
Well, why not? You're going to need some help around the office, right? So you can take care of your duties outside?
Well, yeah, sure, but not Hoss.
Well, why not Hoss? He can do the work, Roy. And besides, he'd be safe in here. And then at night, when it was time to go to bed, just let him go in the cell, flop down on a cot, and you lock the door.
Kind of like having a pet, wouldn't it?
Right.
But the responsibility would be...
Roy, responsibility is your job. This badge makes it your responsibility, Roy. The responsibility, the safety of this whole town. Look, visualize for a minute what would happen if my brother Hoss was left running loose for 2 weeks. Besides, I'll give you some of that tonic. He sleeps half the time.
The tonic?
Sure. Listen, here's what we'll tell him. We'll say Hoss because of me.
You all right?
Yeah, well, hi, Roy. Yeah.
Anything happened while I was gone?
Nope, nothing. Roy, you sure you need me around here? It seemed awful quiet to me.
What's it?
You had a dang fine home.
It's a war.
Yeah. Dang messenger must have snuck in here when I had my back turned and left that.
Hey, it's from Rimrock, Utah. Hoss, you remember that Earl Tusher, that fella that sawed his way out of my jail last fall?
Terrible shame.
Well, the sheriff over there is holding him, and I got to go pick him up.
It's a terrible long ride from here to Utah, Roy.
Yes, sir. Well, I better go and arrange passage and... Say, Hoss.
Yeah, what's the matter, Roy?
I was just thinking I'll be gone several days, picking up Earl Tusher and...
Now, Roy, don't you worry about nothing here. I'll take care of everything.
Yeah, I know, but I was just thinking maybe you better get back to the Ponderosa. Your pa might need your help.
Roy, I promised you I was going to help you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't figure that I was going to be out of town, and it's a big responsibility running this. I'll tell you what. We'll ride out to the ranch and see what your pa thinks, huh?
Anything you say, Roy.
All righty, I'll just get the keys and we'll lock up. Roy!
Roy!
You busted my hand.
Roy, I'm terrible sorry. Let me help you with the doctor.
I don't need no help to the doctor. I didn't bust my foot. I busted my hand. It was my gun hand, too. I got to think of that Earl Tusher, and I got to go up there, and if I get, I don't know what to...
Howdy, Herman.
Well, Hoss. You, going somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to, Utah. I got to go over there and pick up old Earl,
Tusher?
Yeah, Earl Tusher.
Yeah, well, Earl ain't none too bright. I figured he'd get himself caught sooner or later. But how come you're going?
Well, you know, Roy couldn't go on account of his hand. You know.
Oh, no. I didn't know Roy hurt his hand. Well, I reckon he knows what he's doing. Where are they holding Earl?
Rimrock. Hey, look who she is. That's the prettiest red hair I ever did see.
Boss, you say Rimrock or Red Rock?
Yeah, red. Real red.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, here it is. Red Rock. Yeah, you got to change the junction.
Went and run the store, huh?
All right. Here's your ticket.
Been aiming to drop in on old Grundy. Got to buy me a new set.
Boss.
Huh?
Here's your ticket.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Herman.
That'll be $10.
Well, that's a powerful lot of money to be spending on a man like old Earl, ain't it?
Yeah, thank you, Hoss.
Yeah. Herman, you got a piece of paper I can borrow?
Sure. There you are.
Really hurts.
Yeah. It's my gun hand. It's busted. Now I can't take a chance on going after Earl Tusher. I just got to get somebody else to do it.
Of course you do. Well, look, Roy, I'll go after him, or one of the boys will go after him.
Not Hoss.
No, not Hoss. Where is Hoss?
Well, I don't know. He wasn't here when I got back from the doctor. Maybe he went home. I hope.
Howdy, Sheriff. Ben.
Herman, what do you got there, boy?
Got a note for you.
From Hoss. He says, Roy, I sure am sorry about all the trouble I caused you. So I figure the least I can do is to go get Earl Tusher. Wire him I'm coming, Hoss.
When did he give you that?
Just a little while ago. Just before he left on the stage.
Oh.
Whoa! Good evening now.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Simmons.
Any passengers tonight?
I got one. Reckon he must have fallen off to sleep. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, folks are never at their best when they're asleep.
Sure ain't.
Yeah, well, good night, Al.
Good night, Mr. Simmons. Red Rock.
Huh?
Red Rock.
Oh. There. Hey, you tell me where I can find the sheriff?
Home in bed, but I'd advise against it.
You mean there ain't nobody over there in the jail?
Can't say.
Well, who's looking after the prisoners?
Well, in the first place, I don't know if we got any. In the second, if we do, they'd be in bed asleep like everybody else.
That's a real lively little town you got here.
Well, I don't know what you're expecting. It's past 9 o'clock.
You mean you ain't even got no passengers waiting or nothing?
It's the end of the line.
Yeah, sure is. More than one way.
Huh?
Look, where can I spend the night?
Oh, it's boarding house across the road. Bang on the bell real hard, because it takes a heap of banging to wake up old Smithers.
Yeah. Look, are you sure that the sheriff...
Look, mister, whatever your business is, it'll have to wait till morning.
Bank's been robbed, all right. Safe door swinging wide open.
Do tell.
How much did they get?
Every penny. I don't know what to say.
Now, Jesse, nobody's blaming you.
I'm sure you took every precaution.
Yeah, well, I thought I had, and I still feel responsible. Sheriff, I want you to know that I'll do everything in my power.
I reckon we all know that, Jesse. Now, why don't you go get yourself a cup of coffee?
Yeah, I think I better get a cup of coffee.
Or maybe something that might more bracing.
Yeah, thank you. I still want to help, you know that.
We know that, Jesse, but there's nothing you can do. Take him along with you, Jed.
Thank you, Sheriff.
That's all right.
Thank you, Jed.
Bearing up beautifully. All right. Let's get down to brass tacks. Now, anybody hear anything unusual last night? Any kind of a commotion? You see anything suspicious? Anybody lurking around the bank or something? Any strangers in town?
I brought in a stranger last night, Sheriff.
You did?
Come to think of it, that fella acted mighty peculiar. He wanted to know where the sheriff was and if there was anyone down at the jail.
What'd you tell him?
I told him his business just have to wait till morning.
Appears like it didn't.
I don't know, Sheriff, though. On second thought, that fella didn't strike me as being brainy enough to rob a bank.
Well, he could have been pretending, you know.
He didn't strike me as being brainy enough to pretend, neither.
Law officers better judge of that. Which way did he go?
Oh, over the... There he comes now.
All right, let's go.
The nerve.
You ought to be hung.
How's that? Hey, look, Sheriff, I've been looking all over town for you.
You're under arrest.
Let's string him up.
For robbing the bank, that's for what?
Me?
Yes, sir. You better come along peacefully, boy.
Wait a minute.
Get around, Jeb. Wait
a minute. You're making a big mistake.
What you doing?
They'll let you fool him, Sheriff.
Sheriff, listen.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, you know. This is the first crime we've had in 10 years. I don't rightly know what's proper.
Stand aside, Sheriff. We'll handle the whole thing. Now, come on, fellas. Now, get him up. Come on now. Get him up on the horse.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You can't hang that man. Hold on.
Stand back.
Hey, watch it now. Hold on. Now, wait a minute. Don't shoot. We want to get our money back. Get your horses. Get your horses.
From the racket you're making, I know you ain't no Injun. Come on out from behind them rocks now and have some coffee. I must say I'm mighty curious as to what you're doing here. You're too far off the trail to be sightseeing.
Oh, much obliged.
You two go around that way, boys. I'll go around
They after you? Hightail it into that tent. Howdy, Sheriff. Get on, have a cup of coffee.
Oh, can't stop now. Hot on the trail of a bank robber. Great big fella. Named Horse Cartwright.
Can't say I know anybody by that name.
Well, I know you wouldn't know him. Just thought you might have seen him.
Big fella like that? If he was in my camp, I sure would know him, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I reckon you would.
Yeah, well, I've been here all day.
Must have figured wrong. Caught his horse back there. Figured he might have headed this way.
You're welcome to look around, Sheriff. Maybe he's in the tent.
No, if he was here, you would have seen him.
And the size of that belly, Sheriff. Stooping over, looking in a few tents wouldn't hurt you none.
You got a provoking way of saying things, Miss Looney. Ain't no wonder you're out here alone living by yourself. Come on.
You can come out now.
Ma'am, I don't mind telling you, you scared the daylights out of me in there for a minute. You know, I'd dang near soon hang to death as be scared to death.
Oh, I knew he wasn't going to look in the tent. One way to confound your enemies is to tell them the truth. Did you ever notice how little attention people pay to the truth?
Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it. Well, ma'am, in that case, how come you didn't tell him that I was here?
Well, now, he didn't actually come right out and ask me. Besides, I figured I'd kind of like to know why you was getting away.
Oh, they think I robbed a bank.
Well, did you?
Oh, no, certainly not, ma'am, no.
Then why did you run away?
Well, you see, they were all so excited. They wouldn't listen to me. They wouldn't let me explain it. I'm Hoss Cartwright from Virginia City, and they all got to talking about ropes and lynching and hanging, and well, I just didn't figure there's much future in me hanging around.
How come you didn't keep riding till you got clean away?
Well, I fell off my horse, ma'am.
Oh. Well, it's a good thing you stumbled into this camp, boy. You ain't safe out there alone, you know. Well, first thing in the morning, I'll go into town and see what I can find out.
You mean you believe me?
Well, of course I believe you.
But, ma'am, you don't know nothing about me.
With all the experience I've had, you think I don't know the pure truth when I hear it?
Well, I'm certainly obliged to you, Mrs.
My name's Lulabelle. Miss Lulabelle Watkins. Folks around here call me Looney.
Looney? Looney, that don't sound much like Lulabelle, does it?
It ain't. It's short for lunatic. Oh, well, come on, let's get some shut-eye.
Yeah, I'll just bed down out here.
No, come on now. You're going to stay in the tent.
Oh, ma'am,
Come on, don't argue with me. You're going to be safer in there. Come on, get in there.
I don't want to take your tent, ma'am.
Now, don't worry, boy. You, boy, you almost knocked that tent down.
Oh, ma'am, it's the fever. It's on me.
The fever? What do you mean?
Well, ma'am, seemed like every year about this time, I get the fever. And I do some of the most exasperating things.
You got the spring fever, boy?
Yes.
Oh, got it bad?
Real bad.
I got just the thing for you, boy. Here. Now, here, you take a good slug of this. I had a mule once had the fever. This cured him just fine.
Sulfur and molasses.
No, it's my own concoction. Go on, drink it. Takes a little time to take effect, but when it does, bam, you're cured.
Hey, that ain't half bad.
Like I said, cured my mule just fine. Now you go on and keep swigging that, and I'll go to town and scout around.
Now, boys, you gotta admit $500 reward ought to make it worth your while to catch this here fella Cartwright. But remember one thing, we want him alive. Somebody gets careless and kills him. Before we find out where he hid that money, well, we're gonna be in a fix.
Sheriff, you offering $500 for Cartwright or the fella that robbed the bank?
Looney, don't you ever get tired of asking them fool questions? You know Cartwright was the only stranger in town when the bank was robbed.
Looney, don't you think he done it?
Nope.
Well, how come?
He told me so.
All right, fellas, now you know what to do.
Can't you do nothing right?
Now, Ward.
Now, Ward, nothing? While I'm out hiding the money, you just sitting here messing things up.
Well, how was I to know that Cartwright would bust out and run away?
But when he run, why don't you shoot him?
Well, you know I don't hold it with violence like that.
2 years we've been sitting here waiting for a stranger to come along and be our pigeon, and now you let him run away.
Will you keep your voice? The sheriff's out looking for him, isn't he?
And if he finds him, and don't find the money, a finger could point at us.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Now, I just gotta find that Cartwright. You know, there's something about that Looney.
Now, I said that I'd go along with you, didn't I?
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I think I'll mosey on up to her place and have a look around.
Oh, dear. If she's mixed up in this, we're in real trouble.
Well, she can bleed just like anybody else.
Oh, please, Ward, will you...
Now, take it easy. Oh, you must have been playing with that blasting powder, boy.
What happened?
You tell me. That powder I had in the tent must have went off.
That's it. I went into the tent to get me some more of that tonic,
And you lit a match.
I lit a match. Oh.
Boy, for a body with as big a head as yours, you make mighty little use of it. Gold! 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 Look at this! Gold! Well, this is the highest grade of ore I found around here in 20 years of prospecting.
You mean that
You found yourself a gold mine, boy.
it's not mine, ma'am, it's yours.
Oh, after 40 years, you come along and prove I've been sitting here on it all this time.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I just can't get too interested in gold at the moment.
You ain't interested in gold?
What good is it going to do me, ma'am? All I can do is go out and buy myself a fancy funeral after they get through stringing me up.
Oh, now, I'm not going to let them string you up, boy.
How are you going to prevent it?
Well, now, first of all, we got to get our finances straight. Do you know anything about mining gold?
Not a thing. I figured I'd let you handle all that.
Well, that's the ticklish part of it. I don't know nothing about mining gold neither.
I thought you just told me you'd been prospecting for 40 years.
Well, prospecting means looking for gold, not finding it. You know, a rich vein like this runs clean through this mountain. It's going to take a lot of know-how to get it out.
Yeah. Sort of like finding counterfeit money, ain't it? Looks like there ought to be some way we could profit from it, though.
Oh, there's bound to be, boy. Let's sleep on it tonight, huh? Yeah. Maybe we'll dream up an answer. Come on. Boy, it's a good thing we struck gold. Takes money to afford an appetite like yours.
Yeah. You dream up anything last night?
Well, first off, we got to file a claim on the land. I can do that in Red Rock.
Yeah. You know, anybody sees them samples, if they're as rich as you say they are, they're going to dig this mountain plumb out from under us.
Nobody's going to find out about the ore. I don't need to get it assayed.
There's got to be some reason for a prospector filing claim on land.
Homesteading.
Yeah. All right. So we file a claim. Then what do we do?
Well, you don't know nothing about mining, and I don't know nothing about mining. How do you feel about selling it?
Suits me.
There's just one hitch.
Yeah. I figured it would be. What is it?
Money. You got any? Filing takes money.
I lost my wallet when the posse is chasing me. Ain't you got none?
Nope, not a cent.
Well, sort of looks like we're out of business, don't it?
Not exactly. We still got one valuable asset.
Yeah? Well, let's use it. What is it?
You. You're worth $500.
Miss Lady. You want me to go to jail just so we can get the reward?
Well, now that's a hard way of putting it. But with you in jail, the real Robert feels safe and give himself away.
Yeah. You do make it sound sort of simple at that.
Then you'll do it?
Dad, burn it. I've been thinking I ought to turn myself in anyhow. Might as well kill two birds with one stone, I reckon.
Have some more tonic, boy. You're thinking better.
Ma'am, we got company.
Well, you're in luck, Ward. Another 5 minutes and we'd been gone. You don't need to go pointing that gun at us. Ain't nobody unfriendly here.
Oh, yes, there is. Me.
What do you mean?
Well, you might say I'm representing the law. Taking in a wanted man.
I got a feeling he's talking about me, ma'am.
You're feeling right.
Well, just keep in mind that I'm worth $500. Alive.
Might be you're worth more dead.
What do you mean by that, Ward? You in on that bank robbery?
Now, I'm just doing my duty as a citizen, taking in a wanted man. Hand me that rifle. Well, let's go. And you, a woman, you make sure you stay right here. And don't try nothing foolish.
He'll be right as rain, except for a little headache. And that's a lot kinder than he would have been to you. He probably would have shot you and then told everybody he was trying to escape.
He probably would have. Ma'am, I'm much obliged to you again.
Ah, that's nothing.
Well, I'll be doggone. Where'd you find him, Looney?
He found me's more like it.
Oh. Come on.
Stay here, Nellie.
Right in there, big fella. Well, looks like we're all going to get our money back. Now, you boys clear out and tell folks to quit worrying, yes? All right. Yes, sir. Have a little talk with that prisoner.
Ain't you forgot something, Sheriff?
Oh, the reward money. Well, it's right here, just like I said it would be. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, $500.
I'm surprised the folks in this town could raise that much cash.
Folks didn't have to. Old Jesse Simmons felt so bad about his bank being robbed, he just put up all the reward money himself.
Oh, well, now, wasn't that nice of him? You thinking what I'm thinking, boy?
Huh?
How come that robber didn't get all the money out of Jess Simmons' bank? Here.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm putting my money in a safe place. I got a mighty low opinion of banks.
Why is it I always keep forgetting you ain't the most sensible woman in the world? What you gonna do with the money?
Thought I might file a claim on that land around my camp and settle down here permanent.
Settle down when you got the most grub stake money you ever had in your life?
Yep, seems like a pretty good notion. I guess I'll go over there and file right now. You got your tonic, boy?
All right, son. Sit down. You and I are gonna have a nice little talk.
Good. It's high time.
Of course, the most important thing now is where you hid the money.
Nope. The most important thing is how come you put me in this jail cell in the first place?
Now, looky here, big fella. You don't expect to go around robbing banks and not get put in jail.
I ain't robbed no bank.
Well, what'd you run for if you wasn't guilty?
Well, I didn't figure it was fitting to sit there and argue with you all day long about it with a rope around my neck.
Well, I admit that feelings was running kind of high, but that ain't no reason why we can't sit and chat about it now.
Fine. I'm Hoss Cartwright from Virginia City. Now, Roy Coffey sent me here to pick up Earl Tusher on account of, well, he accidentally hurt his hand. You hear me?
Oh, I heard you all right, but what's all that got to do with where the money is hid?
It ain't got nothing to do with money. Like I told you, I'm here to pick up Earl Tusher.
Who's Earl Tusher?
Earl Tusher, you're prisoner.
Now, son, you can see you're the only prisoner I got.
Look, you sent a telegram to Roy Coffey in Virginia City, and you told him you was holding Earl Tusher.
Who's Roy Coffey?
Who's Roy Coffey? Why, Roy Coffey, the sheriff in Virginia City, Nevada. Like I told you, he hurt his gun hand, and I'm down here to pick up Earl Tusher instead.
Can you read and write?
Well, not the best in the world, I reckon, but why do you ask?
Well, it's a shame a fanciful fella like you ain't putting that stuff down for folks to read.
Looney, you mean to say you filed claim on that mountain of rock you've been camping on all these years?
That's the right of it.
What crop do you figure on getting out of it?
Gold.
Howdy, Miss Simmons.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Oh, Miss Looney.
Howdy.
Hey, I understand that you delivered the culprit to the sheriff.
I brought in Hoss Cartwright.
Well, good for you. What about the money?
Wasn't any.
There wasn't any. Oh, well, that's bad. We may not be able to find the place where he hid it, you know.
Looney figures maybe Cartwright didn't do it.
Well, now, that's interesting. How does she figure that?
Well, says it'd be pretty hard for a man to rob a bank in the middle of the night without making a speck of noise. Unless he had a key.
But that's ridiculous. Nobody has the key to the bank but me.
That's what we told her.
Well, perhaps Miss Looney will solve the mystery for us.
Yeah, Looney. Who done it?
He did.
For a minute, I thought you took her seriously, huh? Well, anything for a laugh. Oh, Looney, you are the one. You are the one. Get me as far as accepting violence. And then Looney walks into town with Cartwright just as pretty as you please, and she blames me for the bank robbery.
I know.
But what are we going to do now?
The smart thing. Take the money and get out.
Oh, just like that? Without a word?
Yeah, that's right. I'll ride out now and get the money. Tomorrow we'll leave on the stage. A business trip.
No, I just don't know.
What is that stuff?
It's tonic. You want to try a little of it?
Much obliged. That ain't bad. Now look here, boy. Folks have had a time to cool off. Now, they ain't so much concerned about what happens to you as they are about getting back their money. So if you'll just tell me where you hid the money, things will go a lot easier on you.
Sheriff, like I've been trying to tell you, there ain't no way I can tell you where that money is, because I don't know where that money is. And I ain't had nothing to do with no bank robbery.
Then what were you doing here?
Like I said, I was here to fetch Earl Tusher.
Look here, folks just ain't gonna believe that story. Now, you'd be a sight better off if you just come clean.
Howdy, Sheriff.
You want to see the prisoner?
No, Sheriff, I come to see you.
So what do you want?
Well, I figure it's high time you got down to business and put Simmons and that Ward feller in jail.
Now, see here, Looney, you go around talking like that, people gonna think you're... Well, just don't go talking like that.
How many times I gotta tell you? Simmons robbed his own bank.
It don't make no difference how many times you tell me. It just don't make no sense.
Any short tail young'un to tell you it's the only thing that does make sense.
Well, I got no time to argue. I gotta go home to supper.
But that stage leaves first thing in the morning. You gotta arrest him tonight.
No, I don't. I gotta get home.
Ain't you afraid they'll get away?
I'm more afraid of Emma. Besides, she's having pot roast.
Well, it appears like that there's to be any sheriffing done tonight. It's up to me to do it.
I see. And just what would you do?
Well, first off, I'd let that poor innocent boy out of jail.
Well, shucks. Now, we don't want no innocent folks in jail, do we?
And then me and the boy here would go out, round up them rascals red-handed, and take back the money.
Well, now, that strikes me as a pretty sound program. Why don't you do that, Looney? You take care of that, and I'll go home and take care of the pot roast.
Come on, boy.
Miss Looney, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Well, ma'am, I ain't too anxious about getting shot over breaking out of jail.
You ain't breaking out of jail, boy. You heard what the sheriff said, word for word.
Yes, and didn't it strike you as a little peculiar the way he said it?
Well, if a body held off doing something every time something sounded peculiar, it's hard to say what would ever get done.
Yeah, I reckon you're right at that, but just walking out of jail like...
That ain't no way to talk, boy. Besides, we got him worried.
We have?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, just like I said, Simmons and Ward robbed the bank.
How'd you find that out?
I overheard him talking. Come on. There's a light in Simmons' office. They're in there, all right.
Well, let's go in there and get them then.
Hold it, boy. Remember your fever. You go round front. I'll go in this way and scare them so they'll bust out the front way and then you'll catch them.
Ma'am, it seems might more likely to me if they'll bust out this back door.
Well, I'd feel a sight easier in my mind if I knew you was out front.
But, ma'am, if...
You gonna stand here jawing all night or you gonna do like I said?
Yes.
What was that?
What?
Well, I thought I heard something.
You're so nosy to find out what's going on in there, go on in. Here's that noise you heard?
Oh, dear, now what do we do?
I'll kill her like I should have before.
Well, you didn't think I'd come here by myself, do you?
Well, you did, didn't you?
Of course not.
She's lying.
No, she ain't. One thing I found out about this old woman, she always tells the truth. You gotta ask her things just right. How many people are out there?
743, last count.
That's the population.
I know. How many people are outside waiting for us to come out?
Well, now, if you mean...
Now, you know perfectly well what he means. How many men came with you? Come on.
You figuring to shoot me or poke me to death?
Don't poke her.
Well, I ain't particular about details, but if I don't get a straight answer quick, I'm going to start something right soon. Now, for the last time, how many men came with you?
The pure truth?
One.
Where is he?
Well, like I told you, he's outside.
I know he's outside. Is he in the front or the back?
Of the bank?
Of course, of the bank.
This bank?
Well, I just wanted to get your meaning clear.
Well,
what?
Shoot her.
Oh. Is the man who came with you in the front or the back?
Neither.
Boy, was I glad to see you.
Yep, I reckon I got here just in time, huh?
How'd you happen to come after me?
Well, I figured you was in trouble when they didn't come busting out.
You figured that out all by yourself? And you got in here without making a speck of noise.
Yep, I stand out there in front, and just like you said, bam, the fever left me.
I declare, boy, there just ain't no end to wonders.
Yep.
Well, that is the wildest story I ever heard in my life.
Yep, everything turned out all right. I got the 2 crooks.
That's right. You caught double the number you started out after.
Yeah. I sort of feel bad about old Earl Tusher, though. I'll ride in town first thing in the morning and tell Roy about it, and I'll get right on my way after him.
Oh, I don't think Roy will appreciate that offer too much, Hoss.
Yeah, but why, Paul? That tonic that Miss Looney gave me, it cured my fever just bam, like that. Now, anytime I feel it coming on, I just take a big swig of it.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that in the morning, huh? So go to bed now. to sulfur and molasses.
Burn it.
Yeah, but I almost didn't. You was hiding good that time.
Come on. I bet this time you'll never find me. Let's play again.
Well, I can't play no more. I got a lot of work to do, but we'll try again tomorrow. Let's see how good you can ride, huh? Come on.
Giddy up. Morning, Sheriff.
Musselman, how's Bud?
Fine.
Good.
Howdy, Sheriff.
Albert, hi. Dan, how are you?
Well, Roy, how are you?
Great, just great.
Feeling good, huh?
Yeah.
Good. What are you doing up there, young fella?
Riding a horse, Mr. Cartwright.
Now, tell me, Jerry, does he handle real easy?
Oh, sure.
He's getting to be quite a horsebacker.
Yeah, he sure is. You going to the office?
Yeah.
I'll walk along with you.
Not walk, Mr. Cartwright. Ride.
My golly, Jerry, you're absolutely correct. I'll ride along with you.
What brings you to town, Ben?
Oh, just a little business at the bank.
How's the boy?
Just fine.
You say hello to him for me, will you?
Well, now, you can come out and say hello for yourself. We haven't seen you out there in weeks.
Well, I've been kind of busy, and you know that other thing.
Yeah, Roy. Now, look, you look real good, real fine. You really feeling good?
Ben, that was just a flesh wound. I'm as good as new.
Whoa! Hi, Mom. Hello, Mr. Cartwright.
Wilson?
Coffee. How you feeling, Sheriff?
Fine, just fine.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Mom, don't you want to see what a good rider I am? Watch.
Oh, Jerry.
Off you go. It's all right, Miss Wilson.
Gosh, I'm sorry, Mr. Coffee. Was that your wound?
It's all right, son. Now, don't you worry about it.
I'm sorry you got wounded, too. My father says it never should have happened.
Jerry.
Well, maybe your pa's right. You run along, though, and I'll see you tomorrow, Miss Wilson.
Mr. Cartwright. Mr. Coffee.
Thanks, Wilson. What Ed Wilson means is that I ain't as fast with a gun as I was. It don't take much for some folks to start shooting off their mouths about something that don't concern them, does it, Ben?
Does anybody intend to answer that knock at the door?
Well, I suppose that means me, huh? I don't know why I had to be born the youngest.
So you could have respect for your elders, that's why.
That's right. Hop to it, Sonny.
Would you please, son?
As long as you put it that way, Pop.
Armstead. Good evening, Joe. How are you? Well, Ben, good evening.
Hello, Frank.
Hoss?
Well, good to see you, Ben. Ronnie, how's business in Virginia City?
Howdy, Ben.
Carlos?
Adam.
Well, sit down, gentlemen. Sit down.
Yeah, thank you.
Like some coffee? Say, how about a drink?
No, thank you, Ben. We appreciate your hospitality, but this is not a social visit. We're here on a matter of some importance. It's about Roy Coffey.
Nothing's happened to Roy, has it?
Something has happened to Roy Coffey. He's grown old. He's used up.
Well, that's a rough way of putting it, isn't it?
There's no time for sentiment, Ben. I'm concerned with something a lot more important. Money. Dollars and cents. Now, we're businessmen, all of us, including you. We've got money invested around here, good money, and we need law to protect our property.
Well, it seems to me that Roy's done a pretty good job up to now.
What about from now on? No, he's slowing up. Look at that bullet he took from that drunk drifter a couple of weeks ago. Now, that is not the kind of sheriff I want protecting my property.
Well, Roy's always been a...
Whatever he's been, right now he's an old fuddy-duddy. Gentlemen, Virginia City is growing. It's not a one-cow town anymore. Now, running that sheriff's office is a business. It has to be handled efficiently. Have you been in that office of Roy's lately? That looks like a compost heap. He's got loose papers flying all over the place. He's got wanted posters he probably hasn't even looked at.
Tell him about the Wagner gang. You see, I've got a young wife, and
What about the Wagner gang?
They've been operating all around here, Ben. Shooting up towns, sticking up banks, molesting private citizens. They'll be hitting Virginia City sooner or later. You can put your money on that. And Roy Coffey is not the man to handle them.
Now, wait a minute. I think you're selling Roy Coffey a little short.
You stay out of this, young fella. When I want your opinion, I will ask for it.
Well, you're going to get my opinion when you start talking down Roy Coffey.
Joseph.
Please, gentlemen. Now, let's stop arguing and just get to the point, huh?
All right, Frank. What is the point?
Well, Ben, we just thought we'd drop in. We've been talking about this thing, and... well, you, Adam, Carter, and I are the 4 members of the city council. And... well, Ben, the point is, Carter and I feel that Roy Coffey should be replaced.
Well, I'm afraid I don't agree with you.
You don't, huh? All right. Let's ask a more experienced man. What about you, Ben?
It's something I've got to think about, certainly.
What are we going to do for protection for Virginia City while you are making up your mind, Ben?
Now, wait a minute. Armistead said that this was a council matter, and I don't believe you are a member of the council.
No, but I'm one of the citizens that voted you in. And I can be one of the citizens that vote you out.
Now, let's calm down, gentlemen. We'll get anything accomplished by losing our tempers.
And Ben's right. So let's get down to just the facts. Ben, we are the 4 members of the city council. But in order to make a decision, we have to have a majority. Now, Carter and I both feel that Coffey should go. But we need your votes. Now, how long is it going to take you to make your decision?
I'm going to need a little time to think about it.
All right, so you need a little time to think about it. Well, will you at least agree to a temporary solution?
Depends on what that solution is.
Well, considering the crisis we have on our hands...
What crisis?
The Wagner gang, that's what crisis.
Adam, I think Browning is speaking for the majority of the town. They're very much concerned, and we've got to do something about it. Now, since you won't give us your vote to oust Coffey, then we're asking you to come in temporarily as his assistant, at least until the 4 of us can reach an agreement.
Assistant?
Well, as his deputy.
Armistead Roy Coffey's been a friend of ours for a long time. An old friend. I can't just barge in there and tell him how to do his job.
Then give us your vote to replace him.
You can't have it both ways, Cartwright. If you're so afraid of hurting this old friend of yours, you ought to protect him against hurting the town.
It's a good solution, Adam. The town will feel safer and give your father time to think it over.
All right, I'll try it.
Good man. Good man. Well, gentlemen, I think we needn't impose further on your hospitality.
You've made me feel much better, Adam. You see, with this young wife of mine and the Wagner getting operated around
Carter,
here.
come on. Good night, Joe.
Good night, gentlemen.
I think you did the right thing, Adam. If there's going to be trouble, Roy may really need some help.
Well, I sure don't look forward to telling him.
Well, I know, but still, I can't help worrying about Roy handling somebody as tough as the Wagner gang all by himself.
Well, maybe Roy ought to get himself a good fast gun for a deputy.
Well, that's Adam's job. Find out what Roy is really capable of handling these days.
Who knows how tough that Wagner gang really is, anyhow?
Well, here we are, son. I got a lot of work to do now, so you run along home, and I'll see you tomorrow, huh?
All right, Jeff.
Well, howdy, Adam. What do I owe the honor of this visit?
Oh, I just thought I'd drop by for a while, Roy.
Well, that's mighty nice of you. You couldn't have picked a worse day, though. Got a lots of work to do. Just look at that desk. Paperwork. It's a lot of nonsense and a big waste of time, but that's the way it is now. I used to run this office, no paperwork at all. Now a man could just about drown himself in it. Would you believe that I spend more than half my time just reading and writing? Not to ruin a man's eyes. Now, somebody's been messing around at my desk. I left my glasses right here in plain sight. Thanks, Adam. Was there something that you wanted to see me about?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be with you in a minute. There was a letter that I should have answered here. Now look at that. This joker was killed over in Red Bank more than 3 months ago. Here it is now. Here's that letter. Sheriff Coffee, Virginia City, we are holding Red Thomas for the number of murder of Jim Banner for you and...
I want to talk to you.
About what?
About helping you.
About helping? What kind of talk is that?
Well, I thought I could do some work around here, you know, as sort of an assistant.
I sure am much obliged to you, Adam, but I don't need no help. I had a couple of deputy sheriffs, time or two, but all they did was about get in my way.
Oh, I just thought, you know, on account of the wound, you know.
Adam, I'm just sick and tired of hearing about that wound. Now, it was just a little nick in the flesh, and these people seem to be more pained about it than I am.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the town council...
Oh, drat the town council. What are they dithering about now? Wait a minute. You remember that town council, ain't you? Maybe this is your idea, huh?
No. But I was outvoted, and so I had to go along with the idea, you know.
Just what was this idea?
Well, they feel you need some help.
They feel that I need some help. Adam, will you stop bothering me and go back to Ponderosa? Give you a nice paw and them brothers of you and my regards, huh?
Roy, I would consider it a personal favor if you would let me stay around. It's going to be pretty embarrassing if I have to tell the town council that you threw me out. Seeing as how I let them swear me in.
Let them swear you in?
Yeah, it's a sort of deputy.
Adam, you serious about this? That's a fine how do you do in it.
Maybe I could just help out with the paperwork or something, you know?
All right, you can stay around if you're minded, do some paperwork, but all I'm going to ask is that you stay out of my way and don't bother me, huh? Now I'll get back this letter.
What would you want me to do?
I wouldn't like you to do nothing. I just want you to stay out of my way. You said you wanted to do some paperwork, and I said, fine, there's papers there, there's papers here, there's papers there, there's papers everywhere. Excuse me.
What?
You know I didn't recognize this place. Kind of makes it feel as if I ought to wipe off my feet before I come inside. Thank you. Sure done a job on straightening this place out. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to recommend you to council for town housekeeper.
Don't do me any favors.
But it is. It's a lot more efficient than it was. There's a place for everything and everything in its place. It kind of reminds me of the way Mary used to run a kitchen. You never did know my wife, did you?
No.
Well, Adam, let me just say this. It's kind of rough when you build your whole life around something or somebody and then lose it. After my wife died, I was really lost. Maybe if we had some children, it wouldn't have been so bad. But she was the only family I had, so that's why I had to go out and get myself another family.
Another family?
Yeah, people of Virginia City, they've been my family for years now. It's my job to take care of them.
From what I hear, they're going to need that care real soon.
How do you mean that?
Well, old town's talking about this Wagner gang that's supposed to show up here in a few days.
Don't you ever fret about that Wagner gang. I can take care of that scum, believe me. And I'm not going to let them harm my town in no way. You can put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Telling you, trouble is coming.
What we want to know is, what are you doing about it?
Doing?
We have got to do something about the Wagner gang. Now, there's going to be a showdown and a bloody one. What do you plan to do about it?
Well, the only thing I plan to do is to avoid a showdown, especially a bloody one.
You call that doing your job?
Yeah, that's what I call it. The only thing is, I believe you gentlemen are a little confused as to just what my job is.
What are you talking about?
My job is to protect the people of Virginia City, not to get them killed. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I'll stretch my legs a little.
Well, you need any more proof?
Proof of what?
That you gotta vote Roy Coffey out of here and put in a man who knows what he's doing.
I think Roy knows what he's doing.
And we know what he's doing, too. Nothing.
I don't understand you, Adam. The biggest depositors in the Virginia City Bank are you Cartwrights. If the Wagner gang cleans out that bank, you stand to be the biggest losers.
Well, if we're not worried, maybe you shouldn't be either.
What in the world are you doing?
We're just putting some bars in that window.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
Well, I don't think so.
Do you expect the Wagner gang to just come crawling in through the window? Windows of a bank that nobody's making any effort to defend? What's to keep them from just walking right in through that front door?
Well, nothing, I guess.
Roy, for heaven's sake. And you, Adam Cartwright, helping with this nonsense. Oh, you just wait till I spread this piece of news around.
Sure spends a lot of time getting mad, don't he?
Yeah. Well, mad as a wet hen. Came by the office later and said that he and Carter and Browning were going to come out here later on this evening.
Well, we're always happy to extend our hospitality to members of the town council.
Well, I think there's something I ought to tell you before they get here.
What's that?
Well, things are getting pretty tense in town. I may be headed for trouble, I don't know. But I've decided to stand with Roy all the way. If I'm wrong, I may need your help. And I don't know whether I really have the right to ask for it, because the only thing I've got backing me up is my feeling for Roy and just my faith in the man.
I mean, Roy hasn't come up with any plan about how he's going to handle the Wagner gang if they do show up.
Well, no, I don't know. We spent the greater part of the afternoon putting bars on the bank windows, so he must have some kind of a plan.
Well, Roy's an old friend. We all have faith in him. What about the folks in town?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the Wagner gang. They all feel sure that they're coming, and they have quite a few doubts about Roy.
Browning's influence him.
Oh, yeah, he's been talking a lot against Roy these past few days, that's for sure.
There's always somebody who thinks a fast gun is the only way to settle things.
Well, the trouble is people believe him. I've lived pretty close to Roy these past few days. And I believe in him. No matter how he wants to handle that Wagner gang.
You want to know if we're in back of you? Well, I agree with you. I think you'll find that the boys and I'll be with you if you need us.
Thank you. Well, it must be the duly elected representatives.
Well,
good evening, Ben.
How's that?
Adam.
All right. Ben, Adam told me you were coming. Well, sit down, gentlemen.
Ben, we have got to have your decision on Roy Coffey right now.
You mean Adam's decision and mine?
No, yours. We know how Adam feels.
I warn you, Ben, the town is in no mood for any more shilly-shallying.
Well, Mr. Browning, maybe you can tell me what the town is in the mood for.
Just this. That we get rid of Roy right now. Fire him. Swear in anybody. Anybody who's man enough to do what has to be done. Which is to strap on a gun, swear in the biggest posse he can raise, and stand ready to shoot it out with the Wagner gang if one of them so much as sticks his nose into Virginia City.
After all, we got to protect our women.
Ben, this is no reflection on your family. This is nothing personal. We're just here in the best interests of the community as council members.
Well, as a member of that council, I think it's in the best interest of the community to retain the services of Roy Coffey as sheriff.
What? Ben, don't you see? By withholding your vote on this, you are reducing the council to absolute helplessness.
Well, I don't see how putting our trust in Roy Coffey reduces us to absolute helplessness. Now, maybe you think that the work of a sheriff should be done by a younger man. But as far as I'm concerned, a fast gun has never taken the place of experience. Or the wisdom that comes from that experience.
Ben, I have said it before and I'll say it again. We voted you in and we can vote you out.
Yes, you can vote us out. Come election time next spring.
We do not have to wait till next spring to get protection for ourselves. Now, if the council won't do it, and if that has-been shell of a sheriff won't do it, we can do it ourselves.
Then, trouble is going to come of this. And when it comes, it's going to land right on your shoulders. Yours and Adam's. The town knows how Carter and I feel.
Yeah, I guess we all know how you feel, Frank.
If any harm comes to my wife...
Oh, come on, Carter. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about your wife.
Well, thanks for backing me up.
I was backing up your faith in my coffee.
Yeah, I know how dangerous that can be. I'd understand if you changed your mind.
I won't change my mind.
Coffee, I've got some news.
Yeah, what is it?
The Wagner gang was seen not 15 miles from here the day before yesterday.
Well, Fred, what are they getting all bent out of shape for? They're 15 miles away from here. They're certainly not in Virginia City, are they?
Now, that is typical of your thinking.
Well, how do you think I ought to think?
Virginia City is on the way up. It's growing. It's attracting new business. Now, what do you think is going to happen when it gets known that business gets no protection from the
Now,
law?
what are you talking about? Business gets no protection.
What's going on here?
You mean these?
Yes, I mean those.
Well, little Jerry Wilson was practicing, and he locked me in the cuffs. And then he went down the street to get some candy. He must have took the key with him because I couldn't find it here anywhere.
I never heard of anything so ridiculous in my life. The sheriff of an important town sitting around handcuffed and a gang of bank robbers on our very doorstep. Son, be careful.
What's he so mad about, Mr. Coffee?
Oh, I think he's just a little nervous about that Wagner gang.
Pooh, you could handle him with your hands tied.
Well, now, maybe we hadn't better go that far, huh? Unlock me, will you, son?
Sure.
Now, wait a minute. Now, it's no secret. We all know it. The Wagner gang is coming. Now, what is the council doing about it? Nothing. What is our so-called sheriff doing about it? Nothing. Now, since we obviously can't depend on the council or on the sheriff, I say let's organize to protect ourselves.
Roy Coffey's been taking care of this town for years.
For too many years. I say it's time someone younger, someone more capable takes over. Now, we have got to do something. It's a matter of self-preservation.
I say we stick with the law.
There is no law against protecting our homes, our property. There is no law against acting like men. There is no law that says a man can't stand up for what's right and fight. Now, if you men...
Here, Mr. Browning. May I say a word, please, sir?
Go on home, Grandpa. It's way past your bedtime.
Go on home, old man.
Sheriff's dog. Let's hear what old Grandpa has to say. Let's find out why we should all be cowards.
This could be very interesting.
Thank you, sir. Friends, I don't want to take much of your time. I just want to say that I've been sheriff here for, well, since before a lot of you were born. I've always given you my best. And as far as I know, I never let you down. I never asked anything in return because all I was doing was my job. But now I am. I'm going to ask you for something. I'm going to ask you to let me handle this thing in my own way. Please, do this one thing for me. Let me handle it.
That's all you've got to say?
That's all.
Well, I am buying drinks for the men in this town. I don't mean the cowards. I mean the men. Come on.
Some people in this town sure spoiling for a fight, huh?
Yeah, there's some bad ones, all right.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, Adam, like I told you, they're a part of the town, and the town's my family. Now, if you got some bad children in the family, they're still your children. You got to protect them, even from themselves.
You're late. You run into any trouble?
No. Scouted Cold Creek. It's a pushover, Wagner. Then I went by Virginia City.
Virginia City? Nobody told you to go there?
I know. But it's got the biggest bank in the whole territory. And I don't see why we don't hit it instead of all this penny ante stuff.
The sheriff of Virginia City's a man named Roy Coffey. He's been around a long time. That means he's been plenty smart. And tough.
You saying you're afraid of him, Wagner?
I ain't saying no such thing. Ain't a sheriff living I'm afraid of.
Look, Wagner, I scouted that town today, and I saw your famous Roy Coffey. He's an old man.
All right. Virginia City's next. But I'm telling you one thing. It ain't gonna be easy. Old man. Or no old man.
Will you please stop fooling around with them guns? You're making me nervous.
Roy, I got to talk to you.
I'm busy.
It's important.
Now, can't you see I'm busy? Later.
No, Roy, now.
All right. Enough is enough. Adam. Now, I've been going along with this silly game of letting you play lawman just because the town council thinks I need a little help. But now you're really getting in my way. You're forgetting that I'm the sheriff here.
Not for long.
What? What do you mean by that?
Roy, I was hoping I didn't have to tell you, but you're gonna be replaced.
Replaced? You're pulling my leg.
I wish I was.
But this is my job. Nobody's gonna take my job.
Oh, yes, they are. Half the council has voted to let you go.
But they can't do that. I'm a duly
Yes,
elected...
they can, Roy. Just as soon as they vote me in power of the council, you go.
After all these years?
Roy, I know how you must feel. And it's not much thanks for all those years.
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
I thought the council would change their mind. You know, Roy, you spend most of your life protecting this family, as you call it. Like a lot of families, they don't appreciate what you've done. But aside from that, I think we ought to try and look at this thing from every angle. Now, I'm not saying that you're not a good sheriff, but you know you shouldn't have gotten shot by that drunk. But I don't think it could have happened 5 years ago. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but, man, we do get slower as we go along. It's no disgrace to need glasses, draw the gun a little slower.
Adam, you don't understand either. None of you do. There's nobody in this whole town that understands my job. Now, if I didn't think that I could do a good job, I'd quit. Now, out of my way and let me get on with it.
The Wagner gang, you're on their way.
We got a plan. Let's go to it.
All right, that's far enough. Roy said he doesn't want any shooting, so there's not going to be any shooting.
But the Wagner gang's on the way in.
Well, let him come. His business is going to go just the way Roy wants it to go.
Then let him ride right into town and take over?
If that's what Roy wants.
We don't care what Roy wants. We're the town. And...
You're not the town. You're just a bunch of Browning's roughnecks.
All right, drop your guns. You too. Now go on back to your homes. Everybody.
This could be a trick.
What do you think he's up to?
I don't know. Let's find out. You're the famous sheriff, Virginia City. You give up carrying your guns?
That's right. Ain't gonna be no gunfight.
Everybody run away?
I ordered the town off the street, so go ahead, do what you come to do, and get on out.
Nobody's gonna try and stop us.
I don't want to see nobody get hurt.
You're smart. Money ain't worth getting hurt for. Yes, sir. When you get old, you get smart.
Money back here.
You open the vaults. Where's the money?
It's not here.
I can see that. Where is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I tell you, the sheriff took it all away.
Well, that's why nobody out there tried to stop us. All right, what did he do with the money?
I don't know. He wouldn't even tell me.
Well, you tell me. Let's get that old man. Listen to him talk. Now, wait a minute. Just in case we run into trouble out there, let's take him with us. He'll make a nice hostage.
All right, the windows. Getting in here was easy. How are we gonna get out?
That old man. I'll kill him.
By golly, Roy, you did it. It worked.
Yep. And nobody got hurt neither. Let's get down. We don't want to give him nothing to shoot at.
We're just wasting ammunition.
Wagner! Now listen to this. You can keep shooting all day if you're a minder, or for a week, or for a month, but you ain't getting out of there. And you can keep on looking out through them bars till you starve to death. But if you prefer my jail where you'll get fed, just throw out your gun. I guess that's it. All right, Wagner. Come on. Come on, right over there.
Well, that's that, huh?
Is it? While you're here, why don't you tell Roy that he's being fired? This is as good a time as any.
Oh,
on now, Ben. Roy, that was a great piece of work.
I understand that you want this.
I told him you were going to get a better man for the job, somebody with a faster gun.
Well, I sure feel better. About my wife, I mean. Avoiding all that violence and bloodletting. Guess it takes more than a fast gun to be a sheriff.
Yep. Takes a man.
And it takes a man to admit his mistakes, too. And we made one. A bad one. Roy?
I was wrong, Roy. I'm sorry.
It's all right, Browning.
Hi, Mr. Coffee.
Hello, Jerry.
Will you play bank robbers with me?
I sure will, just as soon as I get my gun.
No. My mommy doesn't want me to play with guns anymore. I want to be like you.
I think maybe your mommy's got something. Come on, let's go for that walk, huh?
Johnny, nice to see you.
For a drink, it's too early.
I'm looking for someone. Friend of mine, maybe just hit town. He's about my height, black hair, and a smooth talker.
We got a whole town full of smooth talkers. Might ask the clerk at the hotel over there.
Thanks.
Will? In here, Jenner. I've been waiting for you. Where are the others?
They're still sniffing that cold trail you left back at Rim Springs. Me, I play hunches. Especially when it's worth $5,000.
Butler want me that bad?
That bad. I got a better idea. I'm coming around with my hands empty, all right?
All right. What's on your mind, Jenna?
Let's you and me make a deal. Them plates are worth more than $5,000 even if we split between us.
You're too late. I don't have them.
That's too bad. But there's still the $5,000.
You think $5,000 is going to make you that fast with a gun?
Butler said dead or alive. I'm betting you want it alive.
That's a bad bet.
What's all the shooting about? Someone better call the sheriff.
Help! Stop him! He's getting away! Help! Help!
All right, step aside.
He's dead.
Who did it?
He took off south. But he's carrying a bullet in his side. I seen him slump when it hit.
They won't get far.
This is the 4th robbery and murder this month, Marshal. We're getting mighty sick of it.
Anybody know him?
No.
We was just trying to identify him. Took these out his pockets.
Anybody who's interested can get signed up for a posse, leaving as soon as we can get organized.
Find anything interesting there?
Nothing but $22 and a name. Will Cartwright.
Come on, we haven't got all day.
Hey, come on, will you, Hoss? I'm getting kind of dizzy up here.
Something gonna make you a whole lot dizzier if you don't quit yapping at me. Anyhow, it's about time one of you fellas got on this rope.
No, that hook's dangerous. You might hurt yourself.
I can't let you work up here, Hoss. If I was slip and fall off, we'd be half a day filling in the hole where you hit the ground.
You two give me a pain.
Hey, Paul!
Joseph, will you stop fooling around up there and come on down?
Stop fooling around. Come down. Stop falling out.
I got some news. Get this wire here from the marshal in Pine City. My nephew, Will Cartwright, was killed there this morning.
What happened, Bo?
I know it doesn't say. Well, I guess they must have made positive identification. Marshal just wanted to know if he was any relation to us.
Well, Will's the cousin that disappeared, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes, the last time I saw him was about 5 years old. Yeah, Adam and I were coming out west. We stopped off in Ohio to see my brother John. John was mixed up in one of those harebrained business deals of his that never got anywhere. You remember that, don't you, Adam?
Well, not really. I was about the same age as Will. But I do remember you tried to find him later on when his father died.
Yeah. I sure did try. He disappeared without a trace. I'm gonna go to Pine City and make the arrangements.
You want us to go with you?
No. I'll go pack a bag.
Ben Cartwright?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Marshal Hollister.
Oh.
I got the wire you were coming.
Well, thank you for meeting me.
Well, I figured you'd like to get this over with as quick as possible.
Well, yes, I would.
My office is just down the street. If you're not too tired, we can take care of a few of the details right now.
All right, good.
Hank, take Mr. Cartwright's luggage over to the hotel. I wish I could tell you we caught the killer, but he cold trailed us about 4 miles out of town. We found his horse with a broken leg. I guess he stole himself another one. We got a pretty shaky description of him, but maybe it'll be good enough.
I hope so, Marshal. Can you tell me how it happened?
Afraid I can't tell you much about that either. Witnesses didn't get there till after the shooting was over. All they saw was the killer bending over your nephew's body, going through his pockets.
You think it was robbery?
Well, it sounds like it, but there's one part I can't figure. Your nephew still had his watch and $22 in his wallet. Of course, the killer could have been scared off before he found what he was looking for. Let's go inside. There they are. Money is still there if you want to count it.
No, that won't be necessary. Give this to his father.
There are some papers to be signed, Mr. Cartwright. Receipt for the personal effects, and release for the body.
Where's my nephew?
As a matter of fact, I wasn't sure whether I'd get the right answer to that wire I sent you, so I went on with a temporary burying. Well, that takes care of everything here. Now, maybe it'd be better if you checked in over to the hotel and let me take care of the rest. You'll be needing a wagon to take the body back. I can have everything ready in the morning.
I think I'd like to pay my respects before I check into the hotel.
Cemetery's just west of town on the far side of the hill.
I'll find it.
Mr. Cartwright, my horse is the bay right outside. You're welcome to take him if you want.
Thank you.
Drop it, Butler.
My name isn't Butler.
Now, turn around. Slow. Who are you?
Name's Cartwright.
Ben? Ben Cartwright.
Yeah.
You picked a rotten time to visit relatives, Uncle.
Will? All right, easy, Will, easy. Not all at once.
Nothing like coming back from the dead, is there?
Well, I don't know what happened, Will. But whatever it was, I thank God it wasn't you in that grave.
I still got a 50-50 chance of making it.
Well, we gotta get you to a doctor.
No. Look, I've been carrying this slug around for 2 days. A couple more isn't gonna make any difference.
You're talking nonsense now, Philip.
No. That grave, the one you just paid your respects to, belongs to a man named Jenner. He was paid to kill me. Now, there are half a dozen more just like him, waiting to do the same thing. Unless they believe I'm in that grave. I was waiting here to see if someone would come and check it out. I never expected to find you.
Well, Marshal wired when your identification was found on the body.
No, you're right out of here. Butler and his men, they don't like anybody called Cartwright.
Who's Butler?
Like I say, he's a man that doesn't like Cartwrights.
We're getting to a doctor now.
Ben, I'm gonna do this my way.
Well, you've got to let me help you out of here.
Will you get out of here? That was a fairly nasty wound. Must have been carrying that bullet for quite a spell. You said it was a hunting accident?
Yeah, it happened up in the mountains.
That's so. Slug looks like it come from a 44. You fellas do your hunting with pistols? Of course, I guess a 44 will stop a deer as quick as a rifle, if you're close enough. You live around here, do you?
No, we're from Virginia City.
Guess you haven't heard about the shooting we had here. A man named Cartwright was killed. Witnesses say that the killer caught a slug before he got away.
Huh?
More than likely just a grudge fight between a couple of saddle tramps.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the fella got away, killed in self-defense.
Could have.
Of course, he'd have to be able to prove that.
Well, maybe he can.
Well, I don't know. The town's all primed for a quick hanging. Been too many robberies and murders.
You saying that he's convicted already, even though he's innocent?
Well, I'm saying he'd be smart to find a town that's friendlier to start with. One like, say, Virginia City. Of course, being a doctor, I'm more partial to saving lives and to seeing them choked off at the end of a rope. Then I guess I'm just plain getting too old to enjoy a good Saturday hanging.
I doubt if you ever did enjoy one, Doctor.
You better have the doctor over to Virginia City check that wound when you get back. Thanks. I'll do that, Doc.
How soon do you think he can travel?
Tomorrow morning. Oh, he can sleep on a cot in the back room.
Now just sit yourself down easy.
Don't worry. Won't even turn over till morning.
Oh, Doctor.
I'm not interested in any speeches. Past my bedtime, I gotta get up early and make some ranch calls. I'll be back about noon tomorrow, which is when I'm gonna make a legal report to the marshal about patching up a bullet hole.
About noon. Thank you.
Here's a blanket. There's the back door. He's welcome to use either anytime he feels like it.
Very good.
Well, I'm locking up. Good night.
Good night, Doctor. Now, Will, I'm going to go back to the hotel, just in case the marshal comes by. I'll be by to pick up in the morning early.
You never give up.
And when you're yourself again, you can take care of your own affairs. You can do whatever you want to do. Good night. See you in the morning.
Forgive me for intruding upon your moment of sorrow, but may I have a word with you? It's quite important. My name is Butler.
Butler? Come in, please.
Thank you. I see we share the same inconvenience in the quality of our lodgings. I just arrived in town, had to settle for an equally oppressive room down
Excuse
the
me,
hall.
Mr. Butler. I'm just in the midst of packing here. You said it was quite important?
Oh, yes, to the point. Well, your nephew was a business associate of mine. My business is of a financial nature. I deal in investments, securities, and stocks. You understand?
Yes.
Shortly before his tragic death, your nephew resigned from the business without notice. He took some valuable securities with him. To be blunt, Mr. Cartwright, he stole them.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wouldn't have thought my nephew capable of dishonesty.
Yes, to be sure. However, as a relative, you obviously inherit your nephew's personal effects. For that reason, I wonder if you would mind if I examined them, only to ensure any recovery of stolen goods. I'm sure you'd like the Cartwright name to remain unsullied.
Yes.
Nothing else? No package?
No. Just the gun and this. That's all the marshal gave me. Perhaps the securities were the reason for my nephew being killed.
Perhaps you're right. My condolences, Mr. Cartwright. I won't trouble you any further.
No trouble at all, Mr. Butler. I'm sorry that I couldn't have been more helpful.
I'm sure you are. Good day. Got him? I'm not sure yet. Maybe I ought to talk to him myself. Your percentage in this little operation depends entirely upon a successful and inconspicuous recovery of the plates, not on your ability to kill.
As long as I get my cut.
I have every intention of making absolutely certain you do. Did you find Jenner?
Yeah, he's disappeared. And I scraped this town clean, too. Hey, maybe he took the plates and decided to go in business for himself. What do you think?
Jenner's greedy, but he's not stupid. You forget I still have the press, the paper, and the ink, and the skill. Without those, the plates are absolutely useless.
He could be holed up somewhere.
Remote possibility.
So? What now?
I think you will keep an eye on the grieving uncle for a few days, in the event that he may have discovered something else in his nephew's possession more than he would care to claim.
If I get a line on the killer, Mr. Cartwright, I'll let you know. Sorry everything took so long.
We're very grateful for everything you've done, Marshal.
The mayor's kind of bit shy. You might have to whip her across the rump a couple of times before she settles.
I'm sure she'll be just fine.
By the way, there was a gent looking for you. I sent him over to the hotel. I suppose he saw you.
Yes, he did, Marshal. It was a personal matter. Bye, Marshal. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll go to the cafe and have me some breakfast. You want to join me, Bixby?
No, thank you, Marshal. I've got a whole stable full of customers waiting for their own breakfast.
Morning.
Oh, morning. Something I can do for you?
Yeah. Saddle up that chestnut in the second stall.
I knew there was something I forgot. That's the one with the loose shoe in it.
That's right.
Well, it'll only take me a minute if you want to wait.
That's all right. I'm in no hurry.
That's the second time you almost got it from me.
All right, I gotta work outside. Let's get out.
No, this is where I check out.
We settled this last night.
That was last night. But I feel better this morning.
That's good. Let's go.
Now, wait a minute. You helped me out of a tight spot, and I'm grateful. The only way to show how grateful is to put some distance between us.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Oh, your friend Butler is in town. Came to see me early this morning. Imagine some of his friends are with him. You can go out there and face him down single-handed, or you can get under that wagon top I've got outside and come with me.
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds pretty clear-cut, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty clear-cut.
All right, let's go.
still all right?
No, I'm just fine.
Where are we? We're just outside Virginia City. We should be making to Ponderosa by nightfall.
Ponderosa. I remember my father talking about it. He said it was such a beautiful name for such rough and rugged country.
Yep, rough and rugged it was. Rough and rugged it is.
He always said you'd make a success of anything you ever tried. He had his big dreams, too. Only he died chasing gold in every wild goose corner of this world. Well, I'll tell you something about him. He may have died broke, but that man was never poor.
Desarte?
No.
You know, I went looking for you after he died. You'd left without a trace.
Well, I didn't want to be part of any other family. You see, I loved and admired my father. Maybe that's why I'm like him. I've chased my dreams around the world, too. As you can see, not too successfully. Well, let's get on to your Ponderosa. See what you've got.
Huh?
Yeah, okay.
Send a wire.
Yes, sir. Where to?
Pine City Hotel. Mr. E. J. Butler. Have found Will alive.
Pa should have been back by now.
Yeah, hurry up. Supper's gonna be all dried up.
He didn't say for sure when he'd be back.
Well, I still think one of us should have gone with him.
Yeah. Even though none of us did know this, Cousin Will. Couldn't have been easier for Paul.
Oh. Hey, that's some now.
See how we can manage this.
Give you a hand.
Boys.
Thank you.
I have a surprise for you. A wire from the marshal in Pine City. It was a mistake. It's your cousin Will.
Howdy, Will.
It's Hoss.
Hoss?
Little Joe.
Well, a pleasure to see you.
Little Joe?
Adam.
Adam?
Like Lazarus rising from the dead. Welcome to the Ponderosa, cousin.
Now, we kind of tired. You boys save us any supper?
We sure did, Paul. Come on, Will.
Oh, what do you got there, Pa?
I'll tell you about it later.
Now, let me get this straight. You were going to bury that man out there under your name, right?
That was my plan till your father showed up.
Well, Will figured that if Butler accepted the fact that he was dead, Will could feel safe.
Safe? Safe to do what? Spend the rest of his life running, using somebody else's name, living like an outlaw?
If it'll make you feel any better, I make a rotten outlaw. I think I proved that.
You mean with this fellow Butler you were talking about?
He cranks out a very fancy $20 bill.
Oh, yeah? So it's counterfeiting this Butler was involved in, huh?
Well, our friend prefers to call it the investment business.
Nobody can say the Cartwrights don't go in for trouble in a big way.
Tell me, how did you ever get hooked up with a fellow like Butler?
Well, when you're between jobs, Uncle, you take what's handy.
Handy? You can hardly call counterfeiting handy.
Now, just relax. I didn't circulate any phony money. Butler said he needed a bodyguard. The money looked good, so I signed on. That's when I found out the money wasn't quite good enough. I didn't bother to say goodbye.
And he wanted to kill you for that.
Oh, well, not exactly. On my way out, I borrowed his engraving plates.
That's what Butler was looking for.
Well, this food has made me feel like a new man. Now, if someone can lend me a razor, maybe I can look like one.
Oh, some hot water and razor in the kitchen. Come on.
Looks to me like our cousin Will's got himself in a little trouble.
Yeah. All that talking he did about taking those plates from that fella Butler, he didn't mention nothing about turning them over to the authorities, did he?
That's right. And what about this running away, Pa? You're not going along with that, are you?
I wanted him to give himself up. But I couldn't let him do it in Pine City. They'd have strung him up. It's an open and shut case of self-defense. So I'm hoping that he'll give himself up to Sheriff Coffey here in Virginia City.
Did he agree to that?
No, not yet, but I think he will. At least I hope he will. I think we ought to try to persuade him to.
And I got a feeling our cousin needs a little more help than just a shave.
Well, that's exactly what we've been talking about, and I think we're the ones that ought to help him.
If you'll accept it. He seems to be pretty satisfied with his own plans.
Look, Pa, we know he's a Cartwright. We know he's a relative, but how do we know he's telling the truth?
I may not be the best judge of character in the world, but I think, and not because he's a Cartwright or a relative, I think that basically he's an honest man.
Yeah, but, Paul, how are we going to persuade him to give himself up?
I don't know. At least let's show a little faith in him.
All right.
put holes in these plates?
That's right. I put them there myself. Just in case I didn't get a chance to turn them over to the law. Now get me a horse and I'll leave.
Put the coffin out in the barn. We'll attend to it in the morning.
Thanks.
For what?
Well, for finally agreeing with me.
What are we agreeing about?
To bury that coffin out there under my name.
You still think that's the thing to do?
Of course it is. Listen, when Jenna doesn't show up, and Butler remembers that you brought a body back here, he's gonna come nosing around, the way he would have at Pine City if you hadn't shown up.
Well, so he noses around and finds a grave with Will Cartwright's name on it, then what?
Well, show it to him. I'll be out of here by then.
Where are you going?
Maybe China. I've never been to China. The world's full of places, Ben.
That's right. World's full of places. Full of people, too. What about people, Will? Have you ever found people more important than places?
Well, sure. A girl now and then, a few friends. What are you getting at?
I'm just trying to figure out who you are.
Well, that's simple. I like the sea. I like French food. I like to dance a fandango. The girl's pretty. Cards, anything that's going. That's me. You might put all that together and say that I'm my father's son.
Are you? Did you forget that I knew your father? We were boys together. We grew up together. I went to sea, but whenever I came back, we managed to meet somewhere, somehow. We'd talk and plan and dream. But there comes a time when a man stops dreaming and settles down to make one dream a reality, like I did, like your father would have done if he'd lived. What about you?
Not me. And not my father. I knew him better than you did.
Yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you did. I guess we'll never know what your father would have done, will we? But there's one thing that we both know about him. He was a proud man.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. And he was proud of his name. And he would never have done what you want to do. Discard his name, bury it, run off to China or wherever, on the pretext that it's adventure. Not John Cartwright. Maybe Will Cartwright. But not John. Well, I guess I had a hard trip. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Tomorrow we'll put whatever name you want on that grave.
Sure hope we're doing right by Will.
Well, those counterfeit plates he's going to turn in, the government will probably give him a medal.
Yeah, after we dispense with that little item.
Well, they'll believe him all right.
What about that fellow Butler?
Well, after he gets through telling the sheriff his story, it'll be Butler who won't get his name changed.
Hey, Joe, come on.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Better tell Pa we're ready to go.
Yeah. Everything's all set, Paul.
Good. Sure glad you made this decision, Will.
Well, one thing I learned drifting around the world, there are few men, not too many, mind you, that are smarter than me.
Will? Your resurrection is a most welcome surprise. May I introduce a business associate of mine, Mr. Gannett? And another member of my staff. And in the unlikely event they should require some assistance, 3 others.
It's me you want, not them.
You're only partially right. I want you and the plates.
I buried them. Now, if you let them go, I'll show you where.
Well,
how about it, Butler? Do we ride out of here or not?
Take care of them, Moss.
Yes, sir.
You should have let me go with them. You could have all been killed.
Well, after you just decided to keep the Cartwright man, we couldn't let the likes of them change that.
We ain't about to lose a cousin that easily.
Especially we've hardly had a chance to get acquainted yet.
And give it a little time. You'll get used to us.
How about it, Will? You got the time?
All for one, huh?
Well, it's better than one all alone.
Well, that kind of thing is going to take some getting used to.
Well, take your time, Will. Take your time. You might get to like the idea. Let's get to town, boys.
ভালোবাসা নৌকা ডুবি চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনায় আগুন মাসের আগুন জ্বলা ভরা বসন্ত ঘুমিয়ে থাকা মনটা আমার বড়ই অশান্ত আগুন মাসের আগুন জ্বলা ভরা বসন্ত ঘুমিয়ে থাকা মনটা আমার বড়ই অশান্ত প্রেমের গাঙে সাঁতার কাটলে হাতটা আমার ধর চল নৌকা ডুবি চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনায় চল নৌকা ডুবি চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনায় ভালোবাসার পরশ পেয়ে অস্থির আমি গেছি হয়ে ভালোবাসার পরশ পেয়ে অস্থির আমি গেছি হয়ে সারা অঙ্গ জুড়ে আমার এসেছে ফাগুন চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনা